What up, what up, what up, what up? America, listen, America. Listen, America, I'm gonna be honest with you. America, listen, we this is going to be one of our finest shows. It is, and here's why I say it's not because of the outcome of the game, but I want to just say that my boy Don, who I have known for over, at least it's been almost over 25 years now, D, I think, if I'm not mistaken, right? Since 96 is what I met you. 96. So what is that, 24 years maybe, or somewhere in there, 20, whatever it is, somewhere in there. 23 years. But listen, this is my brother. All right. This is my brother. And I'm gonna tell y'all, listen, Don has been gracious all year long. You know what I'm saying? He has been just an outstanding, just standing. He was the last one standing out of everyone here. Brooklyn Beards and Ball Sports Show. Y'all know how we do. And Don's team was in the Super Bowl. We're going to have a lot to say about the Super Bowl. But Don is in the building. And you know what? I appreciate that. And I'm going to do my best to do a little bit of counseling as best as I can. I don't counsel as good as Don. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to try my best. My counsel has a little more sarcasm to it. You know what I'm saying? Don really does take care of his people, you know what I'm saying, that are hurting. So, but nevertheless, y'all, listen. We got a lot to talk about, and we got to talk about the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about family drama and with the Ayuk family. I tell you, man, I don't know what's up with these NFL players and all the family getting on, you know what I'm saying? And everybody got something to say about their family members playing football. But nevertheless, we're going to get into it. But before we do, we need you to like, we need you to share. We need you to comment. YouTube, Facebook, y'all in the house. Thank you for the love. It's been a tremendous NFL football season. One of the greatest Super Bowls that we have seen in a very, very long time. And I got to say, boy, I tell you, leave it to the 49ers to give you all the drama you can act and all the drama you can expect. I'm telling you, it was a good one, ladies and gentlemen. But nevertheless, we're about to get it popping. Don, my brother. How you feel, man? How you doing, man?
Listen, it could be better, right? It could be better. It could be worse. Not the results that I was expecting, but I learned some stuff from this Super Bowl. There's a few things that I did learn from this Super Bowl.
Interesting.
I'm glad I had a day to actually reflect.
Because I haven't heard from you, man. I was just, it's been a little, I heard from you, but I haven't heard from you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But that's good. Time to reflect. Okay.
Yeah, you need time. You need time to process stuff sometimes.
I feel you.
So, I processed it. And now I have a clear head to really give an unbiased assessment of what I saw on Sunday.
Okay.
But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, Super Bowl Sunday. 49ers against Kansas City Chiefs. 49ers were 2.5-point favorites. Over-under was 47.5. Listen, my prediction was right for the first half of the game.
Okay.
The defense showed up. They played not like they played the prior two games. They applied tremendous pressure on Patrick Mahomes. I think they sacked him 4 times. They had a turnover. And so they were playing the game that they should play in order to beat Patrick Mahomes. But there was something that I saw that was very unnerving from the start. Once again, touchdowns. You have to score touchdowns. When you don't capitalize on turnovers, when you don't maximize and you're settling for 3 points, as opposed to touchdowns, you're getting in the red zone or close enough that you should be able to capitalize. You can't give someone like Patrick Mahomes an opportunity, okay? I don't think it was anything. Now, I will say this. I think Brock Purdy answered a lot of questions as it pertains to if the moment was too big for him, or how he would play at the Super Bowl, going up against arguably the best quarterback. I think Brock Purdy played well overall. Now, play calling and schemes can either make you or break you.
Right.
Especially when you get into the red zone. Especially when it's crunch time and you have to score touchdowns.
Right.
It's just like anything else. If you're doing threes, it's so we already have a shaky kicker, right? Moody is shaky.
Yeah.
They have Buckner, and he's a good kicker. So you understand that you're going to have to do something up and above kicking field goals.
Right.
The 3 points is not going to work against Patrick Mahomes. Now, did they lock down Kelsey the first, I would say, maybe 2.5 quarters? They pretty much shut down Kelsey, as I was confident that they would. Now, I'm not going to make an excuse. We lost. It was a bad loss. We should not have lost that game being up the way we did with the opportunities to score. Holding them and you have 4 sacks on Patrick Mahomes when nobody really gets to him.
Yeah.
You got to seal the deal, right?
Yeah.
I think that they underutilized CMC. I get it that you want to showcase and prove that the moment is not too big for Brock Purdy, but at the same time, you have to stick with what got you there. In the quotes of some of the players, I think Ayuk might have said, stick with what you got or how you got here.
Don't forget what got you there. Yeah.
And so the fact that they didn't do that was a little frustrating, to say the least. But I'll say this. Between, of course, as it's mentioned, people are mentioning the block field goal or the extra point. Let's start with the extra point. The extra point changed a lot of stuff because you have to think being up 4 instead of 3 puts them or forces Kansas City maybe to take, when they had I think it was a third and something or 4th down. If you have to then score a touchdown, or even if you kick a field goal, you're still down by 1, you might be a little more aggressive. So that might have changed their game plan somewhat. But it was just too much Patrick Mahomes. And then the most inopportune time, you allow, of course, Kelsey to start getting open. I just disagree with how they played the defense when you know that why are you playing that far back? Why are you giving them chunk plays to just move the ball down the field? The aggression that was there in the first half. Now, granted, we lost a very, very big piece to our defense. The line of demarcation from where the defense looked unbeatable to when we started to get toasted was when Greenlaw got hurt. But that happened. I'm not going to make an excuse. That happened, though. People seen the difference when we put in, I think, Burks. He was just getting toasted. So I'll say this. After thinking about it and taking a day to kind of reflect, I understand and this is, of course, NBA, but I understand where the Charles Barkleys, the Patrick Ewings, the Stockton and Malones, if you face and come up against one of the best, arguably the best quarterback, when you come for the king, you better not miss. And we had an opportunity and we missed, and it was a choke job. The most frustrating thing from this is coming to grips with, I believe our window is closed. I believe because you got to look at it this way. The team is going to be good, right? But look at how the players and the other teams, the amount of injuries that mounted with the other teams. I know there was a lot of AFC injuries, right? Quarterbacks lost for the season. So yes, it's going to potentially be more difficult for even the Chiefs to get there. But you got to realize that other than the defense, from an offensive standpoint, this was one of Patrick Mahomes' worst years statistically. Yeah. But yet they still get to the Super Bowl and win. Now, you got to know they're going to retool. You got to know that they're going to get a bona fide number 1 receiver, whether it's T. Higgins, Mike Epps, God forbid Brandon Ayuk, But if you get somebody to go there and play alongside Rashid Rice and Travis Kelce, it's just like this was the AFC's best opportunity to beat Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion. And it certainly was our best chance. 5 years. In a 5-year span, you go to the Super Bowl twice, you go to 3 or 4 NFC championship games, and you come up with nothing. So that's it is disappointing, frustrating as a Niner fan, a lifelong Niner fan, but you have to be realistic with it. Like, at the end of the day, how long do you think this is going to last? Now, we'll talk about whether the players knew the overtime rules. Now, if this is true, because what happens when you start to see a window close is people start pointing fingers. Those are indications that there's going to be turnover, right? Players are going to go. Players are going to get traded. They're going to move on from players. You know, maybe Debo. There's talk that maybe they move on from Debo because as dynamic of a player as he is, he's injury prone in the most pivotal times. You know, he's always rolling around on the floor, holding his arm, his shoulder, or this, or he's getting a hamstring injury. Yeah. And so when you think about it, Kittle didn't play up to the expectation. You know, Brandon Ayuk already mentioned that he's a all-pro receiver. He only had 3 targets for 49 yards. So part of that's on Brock Purdy. Part of that is on Kyle Shanahan getting and scheming up plays for success. When they did, when they did some trickery, they were able to capitalize. And I think this team was good enough to do more than what they did. What do you say?
Well, D, I want to say I don't think the window is closed for the Niners. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say that. I mean, you know, you clearly have your quarterback now for the future. Debo's health is a concern. I don't know how they're going to look at him in the future as far as
But let me just say this. I say that because all the other teams are going to get better, right? You gotta imagine that the Eagles are going to get better. The Cowboys are going to get better. Joe Burrow was out, right? So we're talking about the level of competition throughout the season. And this for the Niners, who were relatively healthy. Usually we have some injuries. Yeah, we lost Hufanga rather. And but that wasn't our core players. We didn't lose. And that's not the norm for the Niners. So I think because who are we going to be able to keep everybody?
Again,
we had Chase Young. We had what's the other guy that we got from the Cowboys? We had extra players that we got for cheap. Randy Gregory. Yeah. We had players that we should have cashed in. We're not going to be able to keep everybody. So are they going to get rid of Greenlaw at this point? He's going to be out at least 9 months. So at that point, you know, are you going to keep him? Are you going to move on from him? So it's going to take drafting well. We do have 11 picks, right? So I'm sure we'll be able to make something out of that. But as far as if you go that many times and you don't cash, your window, I know Joe Burrow's window is open as long as he's playing. But at some point, when you have a cheap quarterback, you can put pieces around him. And the 49ers are not going to be in any rush to pay Brock Purdy. We're going to maximize that cheapness of him being the quarterback. Yeah, but the window, and when I say window shut, is not shut. It's closing, though. Our window is closing because Brock is only going to be cheap for 2 more years. And at that point...
Yeah, but I mean, you got to put it in perspective, right? Okay, if you're going to say your window's closing, right? Let's just put it this way. Everybody's window's closing in the NFL because Mahomes is slated to probably win again next year, right? Because the team is going to get better, to your point. Everybody's window is closing because it's Mahomes and then there's the rest of the NFL. And as long as he's healthy, as long as there is no injuries to him that would keep him out any length of time that would impact the season for the Kansas City Chiefs, everybody's window is closing. Now, if you're going to talk about the 49ers, I'll get to the game in a second, but the 49ers, you're really looking at Detroit. And I'm telling you as a Cowboy fan, I wouldn't be worried about Dallas because Dallas yet to prove anything. And Dallas, you know, clearly the Niners have their number. Detroit is an up-and-coming team. That's a team in the NFC you have to think about. The Rams, you got to imagine that they're going to get better, okay? And they could be a threat to you in terms of your division. outside of that, and you look at the landscape of the NFC, it's not overwhelming like that, all right? So you don't have a lot of teams. I mean, the Eagles will probably be there. They'll get a little bit better, but they're not, again, I would still say the 49ers are the team in the NFC. So now, look, I'm going to say this in this game here. And you talk about the 4 championship games, the 2 Super Bowls, you're coming up short. And I know I don't want to be lazy with my narrative. So trust me, D, and rest of America, those of y'all that are watching, I'm not going to be lazy in my narrative. But I have to say again, Shanahan, again, did what everybody else did in this game when they played the Niners. And that was, again, abandoning the run at the most critical times of the game. CMC had 30 touches in that game, 22 carries. He had 8 receptions. He touched the ball, but it was when you needed him to run and when y'all should have been running the ball, and you didn't. And that's the thing that everyone gets caught up into, because what did Lamar do? What did you go back to Miami and Buffalo, right? And you look at their quarterback and Josh Allen. Everybody is going to resort to where we got to make plays against Kansas City. But here is the thing. It's not about making plays against Kansas City where you're trying to hit the home run because you feel like you got to continue to keep score. You got to score, to your point, which you're right. You got to score, D. You need touchdowns. But you got to keep Mahomes off the field. That's the only defense you got. When you come out and you're not patient, you got to be patient. If you're not patient to run the ball, eat clock, and still be able to score, then what will happen is you're keeping Mahomes on the sideline. On the play after the interception, y'all ran 3 straight pass plays. The offside too killed y'all as well, put y'all in the 2nd and 15. So now y'all was forced to throw the ball. But you didn't run the ball in the times when you should have been running the ball. And that's what was so baffling to me, because I know you were saying it in the preview. In the pregame, you were saying how we're going to do what Baltimore and them didn't do. That's to continue to stay with the run. And you would think that that's what they would do with the all-world best running back, hands down. No one is even touching CMC in the backfield. Hands down, the best. He is Mahomes of the running backs. But at the end of the day, you didn't use him effectively when you were supposed to use him, even if you had to offset him with your other back. What's his name that you got there? The other back, Mitchell. You gotta stick, even if it's a 2-yard, 3-yard. Every first down, y'all kept throwing the ball, and you gotta understand the way the Chiefs play defense. If they stop you on first down, they got you where they want you, because now you're going to be put in a passing situation at some point where you're playing to the strength of their defense. When you lose on first down, you're going to then lose to the Chiefs defensively. And that was the problem on every first down. Y'all just kept running the ball. Y'all kept throwing the ball. I just didn't understand it. And so and then the other, okay, let me just kind of run through my thing, and then we'll bounce it. I'm gonna bounce it back to you, D. Here's my issue. Okay, yes, the field goal, the extra point missed. Yes, that was huge. Obviously, because that changes the strategy of the game in terms of the points. Obviously, the field goal. It was an extra point and a field goal missed. Oh yeah, right. And he missed the field goal, right? Right. But when you look at, to me, here's the critical plays. Okay, obviously the fumble on the punt return. Okay, which I thought Ray McCloud should have just jumped on the ball. I don't know why he was trying to pick it up. Should have just jumped on the ball right there, right? Next play, boom, they score 16 yards, MVS, boom, right? Up until that point, again, when you look at what the Niners did not do well, here's the thing that I didn't understand. What was Wilks calling with a all-out zero-cover blitz on that 3rd and 4? I don't understand it. You had a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 1, and a 4th and 1 on that overtime drive. And even in the regulation, in the end of regulation, you had him on a 3rd and 7, and that's when he hits Kelsey for 13 yards, and then old boy got hurt on the tackle. I didn't understand. Now that's on the offensive side, but I'm gonna just get to the deal. I know I'm all over the place. But the defense, D, what was Wilks thinking about? Why would you send a zero blitz? First of all, that blitz was no disguise. It was the most easiest blitz to read. Anybody could see it coming. And easily, Mahomes was going to hit his hot and hit Ray Rice right over the crosser right there. It was simple. It was schoolyard football right there for Mahomes. Why? And then on the 4th and 1 play, you got, and I think you just alluded to this, you're playing double high safety, 15 yards off the line of scrimmage on 4th and 1. So it was so easy for Mahomes to get the off tackle play and run for 12 yards or whatever it was, 8 yards on that play. I actually got the stats here on that and how much he ran there on that play in the overtime drive there. When you look at that, that was a 3rd and let's see here. That was when you had the 3rd and 2, Mahomes, right? He hit 4th and 2. All right. Let me see. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm sorry, D. Okay, I got all my stuff up here. But anyway, let me. I had it all set up, but I'm just kind of losing my focus here. But anyway, in that overtime, D, on that 4th and 1, actually they actually, being the Chiefs, 40 yards that they accumulated in that overtime from a 3rd and 2, a 3rd and 1, and a 4th and 1. And I didn't understand the defense that Wilks was calling. It just didn't make sense to me that you were playing so far off the line of scrimmage and you got 2 safeties playing 15 yards back off the line, and then the call on the 3rd and 4 with a 0 blitz. And Romo said it. Romo said this is where they should pull out. He said they're showing blitz, but they should drop back in coverage. And the minute that they rush, he said, "Oh my gosh, they should have done that." And that was before Mahomes even threw the pass to Rice coming across the formation. Coming across the field there on the crosser. It didn't make sense to me. Now here's the other thing, D. I love Shanahan when he went for the 4th down play. And y'all got the 1st down to Kittles over there. Okay. That was a good play, got aggressive. And y'all ended up scoring to Jennings right there. Mm-hmm. What I don't understand is, and I know the big deal is about him taking the ball in overtime. With the new overtime rules, you should have deferred, which he really should have. I don't know why Shanahan was thinking about the 3rd possession. Here's what I think he was thinking. I feel he didn't want to put Purdy in a situation where the game was going to then be on his back. I think he was looking for his defense to get the stop. And that's where Kyle Shanahan, being in these situations time and time again, why do you overthink the situation? It doesn't matter. Your team is not going to lose on the 1st possession no matter what happens. If you give the ball to Kansas City and they score, you still can win the game. You get another possession right there. Right. So you let Purdy go ahead and try to drive down the field. Put the ball in his hands. Why would you take it out of his hands thinking you're going to come to a 3rd possession? Because now you're going to give the Chiefs 4 downs. You don't give Mahomes 4 downs because now they know what to do. You kick the field goal, now they know what to do. On that 4th down and 1 at their own 35, if they got the ball first, Kansas City, do you think Reed is going to go for that on a 4th and 1? No, he's going to punt the ball. He's not going to give you a cheap field goal to win the game. So he's going to punt the ball. Put the pressure on Kansas City to make a decision if they're in a 4th down situation, depending upon the field position. You don't elect to receive the ball with these new overtime rules. It didn't make sense. Okay, I didn't understand what Shanahan, he's thinking about, well, the 3rd possession, we would have an opportunity to get the ball and then we can be able to win the game with the ball in our hand. But why are you thinking that far down the line? You let Mahomes do whatever he's going to do. Put it in your offensive hand. Let Purdy go ahead and do what you got to do. You got a running back there with CMC. The clock doesn't matter. The clock doesn't matter in that situation. So even showing the clock doesn't matter. It's no big deal with the clock. Unless they turn over down or there's a turnover, then the game ends. All you had to do was methodically move the ball down the field, give it to your running back, and let him get you down the field and do what you were doing before. I didn't understand what Shanahan was doing right there. And then if you're going to do that with the 3rd possession in your mind, why didn't you go for the touchdown? It was on a 3rd and 4. You should have been thinking this is 2-down territory. We're going to go for the touchdown.
No matter what.
No matter what. We're going for the touchdown. Because we can't lose the game here. It doesn't matter. Make them have to score a touchdown, which eventually they did, but you would have still put the pressure on them. Go ahead, because you're not going to lose the game right there. It won't matter. So the reality is Kansas City was going to get another possession. Go ahead and try to score. It was 3rd and 4. You could have ran the ball again right there and then came over the 4th down play. You just was aggressive at the end of regulation. So why didn't you keep that same aggression in that moment in the overtime? I didn't understand. Didn't understand that. Yeah.
So Rod, okay. So I let you say all of that, and most of this Most of your responses was you couldn't understand why someone would do something, right?
Well, I mean, I say it
So
facetiously because
I know
I'm
you're
a
saying it
Cowboys fan.
facetiously,
So,
but let me
yeah.
ask you something
Uh-huh.
just as just a point of reference.
Mhm.
Do you think that someone who has been coaching for
Mhm.
as long as Shanahan has been coaching,
Yeah.
his father was a coach,
Right.
his great grandfather, I don't know if his father, I don't know if his great grandfather was coaching, but he comes
Right.
from a long line of coaching,
Yeah.
probably
Been around football all his
upwards of
life.
40 years of coaching around him,
Mhm.
right? Do
Right.
you think that he didn't know the overtime rules? Do
Who,
you think
Shanahan?
that, yeah,
Oh, yeah, no, Shanahan knew the rules. Of
I don't
course he
care
did.
what he says. If he says, I was thinking about the third, do you think sometimes things you have to ask yourself if we're at home sitting and decisions that are made are baffling and we can't understand
Mhm.
why they would do it here and
Mhm.
not do it there,
Mhm.
what does that lead you to believe? Now, you're not going to say it, and it seem like it's going to be an excuse. But if you don't think that everything mounting from Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, the 19 years of not having a back-to-back teams, I just find it hard to believe that a team, coaches, and players forget how to play. You would not give Travis Kelce that much cushion if Patrick Mahomes and Kelce, you know that still, even if you shut him down the first half, you already showed what you could do.
Right.
Why would you then be that much? Why would you be playing that far back to allow him to get 6, 7, 8 yards untouched?
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, I don't know what Wilkes is calling right there. I just don't understand the soft coverage.
Do you think Wilkes doesn't know how to play defense? He showed that he knew how to call defense the first half. Is what I'm suggesting.
For the first 3 quarters, for
so
pretty much. Yeah.
So after Usher's show was fantastic, by the way. After Usher's show, everybody forgot how to coach.
I think Shanahan overthinks it though, D. I think again, I'm putting some of this on Wilkes too.
No.
But I think these coaches, D, they overthink the game. I think, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I believe Shanahan, unless it was utterly necessary, he did not want to put the ball in Purdy's hand to win the game. I just didn't think he wanted the ball
40 times. That was not the case. If anything, if CMC had 30 plus touches in the game, and then you would say, okay, he didn't want to expose or have his quarterback exposed to being either the GOAT, the lowercase g in the game, or causing them to lose the game. But if they passed more than they ran the ball, clearly he was in command of the offense. Yes, there was pressure on him, but he played a pretty solid game considering.
He definitely didn't lose the game.
I don't think it was that. But I'm just going to show you this, and this will speak volumes.
Okay, what's your theory? You think it's a theory?
Listen, my question is,
okay,
if we got smoked the entire game, right? We were just outmatched. That's one thing.
Right.
But if we showed that we held Kelce to 50 yards or under 50 yards and 1 catch, and he's about to tip over the cow of Big Red, he's about to take Big Red off his feet because he's not getting the ball. They're turning the ball over. We sacked Patrick Mahomes 4 or 5 times in the first half. And then the second half, we do a 180 on our...
Well, they made some adjustments.
What was the adjustment?
Well, I think when you look at how
what is the visible adjustment that they made that prevented CMC from still being wide open, going down the sideline, still getting in the... They didn't stop anything.
Well,
we just played into their hands. We helped the situation by giving them cushion when they needed to move the ball down the field. A team that's in a deficit, right? They have to throw the ball and be more aggressive. we could have we were winning. We could have stuck to the script, ran the ball, killed clock, like you suggest, right? Did what the other teams that previously lost to the Chiefs didn't do.
Right.
And we didn't. Instead, we continued with passing the ball, right? So we weren't eating up the clock. We didn't start.
No.
And I'm not saying not be aggressive, because we were still aggressive. To your point, in the fourth quarter, we went for it on fourth down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did.
And we got the touchdown with Jennings. So we were still aggressive, but how then do you completely do a 180 from what you were doing that had you so successful in the first half? No conspiracy. Missed extra point. Let's play punt. Bit. Well,
yeah, I mean, those are key plays. Those are key
plays for sure.
Yeah, no question.
But
no question.
I'm talking about the defense and offensive philosophy that changed. That changed dramatically, and it was noticeable. Now, I didn't say this to you. We didn't have a pre-show tape or meeting. Everything you said was, it just doesn't make sense why they would do this and why they would do that. Now, teams, a game plan, one part of it can fall apart, right? You could say, okay, offensively, we couldn't move the ball. But a collapse on offense and defense, the Chiefs are a great team. Mahomes is great, but they're not that great.
No.
That's all I'm saying. They're not
capable
of making us collapse on both ends of our offense and defense collapsed in the second half.
Well,
we went away from everything we were doing in the first half because we were moving the ball on them.
No, you definitely was.
We couldn't move the ball, and defensively, we were stymieing them. So how do we go away from that? Why do we go away from it? If in Atlanta, you're looking 4,000 miles away and you say, why wouldn't this coach do this? Why wouldn't this coach do that? Why would these players be so far off? Why would they then give Kelsey so much cushion to then get in a rhythm, start catching passes, get big chunk plays? Because Kansas City at the point was behind. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I just think in that critical moments there, like on the third down plays, I just thought I just didn't understand that. But you got to give credit though, D, even on that 3rd and 5 where Spagnuolo sent the blitz and he had McDuffie come right in that corner blitz there, which is, and they disguised their blitz really well. I mean, you had probably a good play call there, but I think for whatever reason, Shanahan, again, and I'm going back, and I'm just reiterating what you're saying there, on that 3rd and 5, when it was down underneath the 2-minute warning, and y'all came back out after the 2-minute warning, and it's 3rd and 5 right there, and that's when McDuffie comes in on the blitz and bats the ball down. Looked like Purdy was trying to get somebody there in the flat. The problem is, actually, he was looking for Jennings on that play. The problem is, D, is that for whatever reason, Shanahan struggles in tight games, or when there's games where either he has not an insurmountable lead, but he's got a lead that is not comfortable, or he's behind. And then he had an insurmountable lead back in Atlanta, but again, I'm not killing him on that the way other people kill him, because look, the defense had a lot to do with that too. Okay, so that's not all on Shanahan. I mean, yes, the play calling and not being able to put up more points in that game for whatever reason. I'm not saying that he's not culpable.
Well, they abandoned the run that game too when those two running backs were averaging 7 yards a carry. I mean, it's culpable on that too. So no, I totally agree. And then your defense is getting tired, and as Brady and them are starting to mount their comeback. But what I'm saying, D, is that Shanahan has to learn how to manage these games, particularly with his play calls. He got aggressive on that 4th down play, which I was shocked that he did. I was like, take the points. We all screaming there, take the points, take the points. And he went for it. He got the first down with Kittles. And Kittles, who's been quiet all night. And he found them, that was a good play. Y'all got aggressive, and then you guys scored with Jennings. I just didn't understand the play right before the quarter ends, in the regulation. When right after the 2-minute warning, it's 3rd and 5 there. You're at the Kansas City 35, and you drop incomplete. Moody comes out. He kicks the 53-yard field goal. So that was good. The thing is, though, D, is again, I don't understand. I know what you're saying, but Donald, it happens with these coaches. They overthink. These coaches tend to put. That's why I don't care what nobody say. I don't care about these sports today. When I say I don't care about the sports today, I'm saying from the sense of these players
these coaches, I'm telling you, D, they're not like the old school. Walsh, Noel, Landry, Jimmy Johnson, even Seifert, Holmgren, okay, what's his name? Your old boy with the Steelers who won a Super Bowl with them.
Coward.
Coward. I'm just drawing blanks today. I'm just so hype about the show. And so you got all these good coaches, Don, that didn't overthink. Know what they thought about, Donald? They thought about plays and players. That's what dictates the game, not the stupid analytic stuff, not the stupid. I'm thinking about the third. Why are you thinking about the third possession in overtime? That made no sense. And again, if you got to say to yourself, if I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose with my offense on the field. I'm not going to give the ball back to Mahomes and let him beat us. If we're going to lose, we'll lose to ourselves. I'm not giving the ball back to him.
And if you're going to do that, then you go for the touchdown.
You go for the touchdown.
The only thing, if you score a touchdown, they can't beat you even if they score a touchdown. Then it goes to then you I don't know if is it sudden death or you still have the opportunity to go back and forth.
Well, you go back and forth. It's 3 possessions. So you get the first possession. If they score a touchdown or field goal, the other team still gets an opportunity. Right. They get a chance. If they either turnover on downs or there's a turnover, then that's it.
And it's
right.
Over, right.
And it's over. And that, but I'm saying, but if they score, like, if they happen to tie it up, then you get that third possession. But why are you thinking that far into it? It didn't make sense to me. Why are you overthinking that? You got to think about that is the greatest quarterback, arguably, of all time on the other side of the field. I'm not going to give him an opportunity. Let him score. We're going to go ahead and get our offense out there, and we're going to go ahead and try to either match what they did, or we're going to just go ahead and try to beat them. But in that overtime, when you did get the ball on that 3rd and 4, you had to go for it. That's 2 down territory. Be aggressive. No one, listen, Donald, let me say this to you, man, as a Niner fan, to all Niner fans out there. There's no shame in losing to Patrick Mahomes. No one's gonna destroy the Niners. I don't care about that little favorite stuff.
No. Listen,
I don't.
No shame to
there's
losing
no shame
to
in
Patrick
that.
Mahomes.
So what do you got to lose?
There has to be a degree of shame and disappointment in the fact of getting to the level that you get to, because really, when your team is stacked the way it is, ultimately, yes, it's great to get there. And I've said that. It's better to have loved and have lost than not to have loved it all. So yes, it is great to get there, right? Everything leading up to it. You were the best in your conference and you're representing the NFC, right? That's good. There's a place for that. There is a warm and fuzzy feel, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, it boils down to confetti. It boils down to your coach getting Gatorade poured on them. It boils down to people crying,
right,
and doing snow angels in the confetti for winning. And if that doesn't happen, you realize players have gotten better. They're showcasing. They're up for contracts, and you're not going to be able to keep everyone.
Understood.
So that is what you have to look at, because
but you lost to Patrick Mahomes, though. I hear all of what you're saying.
Yeah, but that does not matter. It don't matter.
But I'm gonna say, and it's not so much for a consolation prize in that sense. But what I'm saying is that when it all boils down to D, Kansas City wasn't supposed to be here, right? We all said it all year long. But the point I'm making is that
top to bottom, we were a better team.
But that's why. Yeah, was right. But can we be honest? There were teams at the end of the day where the Patriots played. The Patriots were not better than that Ram team, that greatest show on turf team. They were not better than that team, okay? Even though they had a really good defense, they were not better than that team, okay? They were not better even than the Seahawks when they lost to them. Seahawks were the better team, okay? At the end of the day. But I'm saying the defense gave them the edge.
That's the kind of feeling that
why did
me
they
as
lose,
a Niner fan has.
Right.
The way the Seahawks feel when the game was in their grasp and all they had to do was, from a coaching standpoint, play to their strengths, and they would have 2 rings, they would have won.
Yeah.
They tried to force a square peg into a round hole.
Well,
and at that point,
And and we know the dynamics of that was a little different only because, again, that was ultimately one play. Like when you look at this Super Bowl the other day, you're looking at a myriad of different plays and how things added up and the sequences of what happened between the fourth quarter and going into overtime, how Shanahan had opportunities, and then the calls that Wilk was making defensively. I just didn't understand the schemes on that, right? That's different than the Seahawks game, because that was just, they give the ball to Lynch, it's all over, right? That's just like that was just mind-boggling altogether what they did.
To me,
but
it's very similar.
But they lost to, but I'll say in that sense, just to kind of even pull back on my point, which now it may not have the same level of credibility here, because they really didn't even lose to Tom Brady. They really beat themselves, right? You guys, what I'm saying in this sense is for Shanahan, you got to know you were playing against one of the greatest quarterbacks. Do everything in your power to keep him off the field. Score points, keep him off the field. And that's what they didn't do. And that was a really good defense you was playing against. So you're able to move the ball, and anytime you're getting into getting inside the 20 or 25-yard line, you got to be aggressive in that sense. And you did that already one time. Why would you not continue to do that? Because you had this game won. You could have won that game even on that 3rd and 5, but y'all didn't get with McDuffie coming in and knocking the ball down on the blitz. And that was another thing. That's the thing Purdy has to grow into. Here's another thing. That's why I kind of blame Shanahan a little bit on this, but I don't know, your center perhaps, because you're using your center and your quarterback. But Purdy is young, so I'm not going to kill him for this. But you got to call your protection, bro. You know that blitz is coming. They've been coming all day. You got somebody on that sideline got to show. Listen, you see them in this formation, slide the protection here. Slide the protection here. You got to make that call. And Purdy's still young, so he doesn't really, I guess he's not, at that level yet where he can do that. At some point he will be. But, that's part of it too. And that's where you got to give Spagnuolo a lot of credit, because he was able to bring that heat. And that pressure was something that he's putting on Purdy. And I'm going to say this. Purdy.
We played well enough to win. Purdy, if he did just what he did.
Well, he did miss 2 big throws, though. I don't know what happened to him and Ayuk. Maybe that was a misread there. The miscommunication.
Oh, when he was going up.
Yeah, going up, and he threw the ball out, and then but he had Debo. He had Debo right in the back of that end zone, D going down the sideline. That was Purdy, you got to make that throw. He overthrew him. That was an easy. That throw was no more than about 30 yards, if that. I don't know exactly what I got to look back at the play-by-play here. But that was a throw that he missed. Now, I'm not going to kill him. I'm not going to say he played bad. He wasn't. I'm not going to say that's the reason why they lost. But those are throws you got to make. And I think at some point in his career, you're going to see that from Purdy. I think Purdy's good. I really do. He silenced the critics as far as I'm concerned. He silenced me. Would I put him above Dak? I would. You know why? Because he doesn't play scared. He's not jittering. His hands ain't shaking. He don't look befuddled and dumbfounded. You know what I'm saying? He may not know all of what's going on, but he still looks poised to me. And I have to give the kid a lot of credit. And he wasn't the reason why he lost. Steve Wilks and Kyle Shanahan, if I have to sum this up and who do I put the shoulder the blame of this loss, it's on those 2 guys. I don't know what you called in that defensive scheme in that fourth quarter and that overtime. And Shanahan, you did not run the ball when you should have been running the ball. Going for these, that's the thing.
Now, I just want
concern it's on those 2 guys.
I want to encourage everyone to, if you see the, I don't know, maybe the all 22, I want you to look at the play where Rashee Rice gets that first down. Gets that first down. I think it was 3rd and I don't know.
Yeah, that was 3rd and 4. That was 3rd
I
and 4.
want you to pay close attention to what happened to Nick Bosa. I want you to look at what happened to Warner and look what happened to Nick Bosa on those plays.
He was held.
I'm not only held, tackled.
Yeah.
Warner was held and dragged to the ground. There was no call made. That's 2 plays on the final drive. In our personal chat, did I send you any videos? Did I say any? No, because it's a loss. No. It don't matter. That stuff happens. We have the team that it shouldn't have been in the ref's hands. We should have been able to put. What's frustrating is, do I, even with the loss, think that the Niners are better than Kansas City? And it may sound crazy, I think that Niner team is better than Kansas City.
I don't think anybody will say otherwise. You're right.
Well,
no, you're right about that. But what's the, as you always, well, no, you would not in this case. I don't think this would apply. But because I was going to say, you always say injuries is the equalizer, right?
The greatest equalizer.
Right. But there was no equalizer there, D. You got Pat Mahomes, and it doesn't matter. And we've been saying it all year. You and I can go out there and line up in the X and the Y, and he's going to find us, D. So, got to mention Perky deep ball. Never see him throw deep. Yeah, well, and like I say, he had Debo on that sideline throw in the back of the end zone because Debo had his guy beat. If he lays that right in there, that's 6 points. And like I said, looked like it was a miscommunication between him and Ayuk. Ayuk ran one way, the ball went another way. No, Purdy doesn't have a good arm. We know that. His arm is not great. He doesn't have a great arm. He's not going to throw deep. He's not you look at the throw he made when, Ayuk caught the ladybug catch. He struggled to get that. Even though he overthrew him, but it was like the ball really struggled to get out of his arm. It's like he put his whole body into that throw. You know what I'm trying to say? But, at the end of the day, Wilkes, zero cover blitz didn't make any sense.
Does not make a good quarterback.
Say it again.
The ability to throw for 70 yards does not make a good quarterback.
No. You don't need to throw like that. But you do, but you got to work within the strengths and the weaknesses or around the weaknesses of your quarterback. And that is a weakness of his. But look, you got to the Super Bowl.
I don't know if Whichcourt has a great, since Corey brought it up, I don't think Tua has a great arm, to be honest.
No, I don't think Tua has a good arm. No, I don't think so. No,
Purdy is
so far. Tyreek Hill is like he's waiting on a pop up to come down. He's running, but he got to stop and wait for the ball to come. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, D, you lost to Pat Mahomes, and that's where Shanahan did not take that into account.
That's not a consolation prize.
Why?
That doesn't make me feel any better because if we play
and the way he won. He came down and drove on your defense. Okay, but
we gave him a cushion to move the ball down the field.
But
my question is, what did you see Patrick Mahomes do? So he did move he did come out of the pocket and ran some, right? They had a design run for him.
Big runs in that overtime,
fake handoff. Everybody's back is turned. He ran it up the field. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is, if you are sacked 4 or 5 times in the first half, right? And for the first half of the game, Brock Purdy outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Outplayed him. If you look at the numbers.
No, he did. He did. He did in that first half. He did.
So what I'm saying is,
I would agree with that.
To then lose that game, right? That is a frustrating thing because clearly you did something different. I don't think their adjustments. Ultimately, their adjustments got them the W, right? They won, right?
Yeah.
But I think we helped. We assisted with that. We did the equivalent on defense that Baltimore did by not running the ball.
But they ran more motion in that second half, though, D. They did seem to run a little more motion in that second half. They did more to scheme their receivers open because they weren't getting separations. And some of them sacks were covered sacks, too, that they got on Mahomes. And I think that's when they obviously made some adjustments to get guys open. And they ran, and even though Pacheco wasn't getting big runs, but they still stayed with them. They still kept giving him the ball, just trying to keep the defense honest to some degree. And here's the thing, right? Again, I didn't understand why you're playing a too high cover on a 4th and 1. That made no sense. But I do think with Wilkes just scared again of Mahomes making a deep throw. Because again, and your safety on that first catch in the first half, when your safety just got totally lost in the lights. I don't know what he was looking at and got beat on that double coverage.
Play. That was it.
Right. But I think they might have still been concerned.
And they didn't score on that drive.
No, they didn't. Pacheco fumbled on that. I guess it was the play after maybe. But what I'm saying is there was still a threat. Like Mahomes can launch the ball, right? And so there's still some threat in there in that because MVS could still, kind of take the top off the defense because he does have speed. Now, whether he catches it or not, that's one other thing, but he's got the speed. But what I'm saying, though, D, is that, yes, the scheme was bad. You played soft in your coverage. I didn't understand that. You're right about that. And they took what you gave them. But still, at the end of the day, D, you had some opportunities to win that game. But again, it was Pat Mahomes, man. I still think I don't know if any other quarterback is still going to do that against that defense. And you look at Jared Goff, Jared Goff had his opportunities, though he had guys that dropped balls in the NFC Championship. But when he had to make this, then he had to make the drives, your defense came up big. You made the stop. You stopped Jordan Love, right? I mean, rookie and all that. Yeah, I mean, essentially a rookie. But what I'm saying is, D, you're playing against the greatest quarterback to ever play in this era. Okay, and that's all I'm saying.
But he's not throwing and catching the ball. So my thing is if we are able, and this is getting to almost beating a dead horse. If we shut down Kelce in the first half, why would we go away from what was working? It's just a simple question. If you could explain to me why we were so dominant defensively in the first half, and pretty much, I wouldn't say dominant, but we were moving the ball at will in the first half, why would both defense and offense do a 180? Are you suggesting that Kansas City made adjustments so much that they were able to pretty much stifle us offensively and defensively in one half?
I think so. And you know what? No. And I'm going to do some research on the analytics and just like the all 22 and just kind of see what happened, because clearly there was an adjustment made because y'all shut out Kelce in the first half defensively, but then he got off. You know what I'm saying? And they did some things that were different, and definitely both offensively and defensively. I mean, you know, I can't sit here and break it down. I'm not an analyst like that, but
it almost seems like we went into a prevent D when we knew that they had to move the ball down the field. We went into you can't give Kelce's not going to run past you. He's not, right?
No,
he's not a burno. He's not going to run past you, right? He's going to do an intermediate route, get the ball, and then some yard. He's going to kind of chug. Yards after the catch, he's going to get something. He has good hands. Why are you playing 10, 15 yards off of it? You're giving them chunks of 6, 7, 8 yards a play when they have to move the ball the length of the field. It just doesn't make sense that they would do that. If Kelce was having his way the entire game, then I would take what you're saying as, they just did what they needed to. Kelce's unbelievable. Patrick Mahomes is unbelievable. But when you see a polar shift from a lockdown D, so it could be the only difference that could be made for them to change, because the person that they brought in to replace Greenlaw, they were 9 for 9 on him. 116 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, well, see, then that was a matchup there. They found the matchup. They found the weakness there. And Warner did struggle a little bit holding Kelce, especially on that third and 7 play in the regulation when Kelce had that big 13-yard slant right there. I mean, not the slant, but another crosser coming across. Warner was not even in the picture. You know, and he was holding him right off the line of scrimmage. He struggled holding him, you know. And so, like you said, Greenlaw's replacement, that was a huge loss. I felt bad. I was like, oh my God, no. You know what I'm saying? Because I hate to see injuries, especially the key guys like that. That was a huge loss. And that was, you know, so he's like, you just said the stats. That was, you know, he just ran all they found a weakness in the matchup there. You know what I'm saying? But I want to find out. I want to find out.
On the next show, let's figure out. Let's maybe dissect it. We don't have to go too many more shows.
No. We don't have to do it today. Yeah.
On the basketball, football season is officially over.
Officially over.
Then we'll talk free agency. I'm sure people are gonna send out cryptic.
Well, let's get your thoughts though, real quick, about the whole Ayuk thing. What are you concerned about that now? Him coming out and
I'm very
catches and
listen. I've said this all year long. Brandon Ayuk is a bona fide number 1 receiver. So him making those comments is not a surprise to me. Maybe it's a shock to you. He is I'm saying,
what do you think that does for your franchise?
I mean, either he's just playing hardball because he wants don't play with his money, run him his money. He wants his money, or he's gonna say, hey, listen, I'm an all-pro receiver. If they're not going to pay me, I don't know if he's a restricted free agent or unrestricted free agent, but if he's unrestricted and he can test the market, he's going to get what he wants. Even with Mike Evans, there's talk that they're going to franchise T. Higgins. He's going to get whatever money he wants, because, you know, if you see all of those weapons that they have, right? And see, the conversation that we've had has come full circle. All of those weapons, he's still an all-pro with 1,300 yards. So that lets you know, if he's given the opportunity to be the man, and I know you don't agree that he can be the man on the team and be a number one receiver. I hope we don't find out. I hope that we don't find out and don't see him on another team acting as the number one receiver, because he is a special player.
He definitely had a good year.
Underutilized.
No question. Yeah, he had a great season, actually. He made an all-pro. He had a great season. Now, I think the Niners, if you ask me, I think they're going to end up franchise tagging. I don't know if they're going to come to a deal. They're going to end up tagging. They're going to tag IU. That's what's going to end up happening. Yeah, they're going to tag him.
I don't know.
They're going to tag him. Because I'll be honest with you. You got to see, and again, you got to see, is there another year like that in him? That's the only thing. I think it's a bad business move for
another
any owner
year in him
to sign.
Are you serious?
A year like what he had, D? I mean, I think I got.
He's improved every year.
Something.
I don't understand.
Let's go through this one time. Let me see.
And we already said, I've already explained to you, if he gets the targets that 88 on the Cowboys gets, he's going to blow those numbers out.
Well, he won't get those targets because, again, you got to, because
he's not a number. He's not being utilized as a number one. That's the only reason, not because he can't do it. And you're under the impression that he can't be a number one.
Well, here's the key, and here's why I say, D. I think with him being a number one is it. Look, I said that I don't think he's shown anything to be a number one in this sense, because of the fact of the way the Niners use him. They obviously feel using him to stretch the field across in those intermediate routes, I guess. I can't pronounce the words tonight. But in those windows of the field, that's where he's most effective. He only had 75 receptions.
It has nothing to do with that.
No, I'm going to tell you why. Because as a number one, huh?
It has to do with pay.
But D, they didn't know that he was going to have a season like that. I mean, he was clearly Purdy's option. Purdy loves him, right? They have a rapport. They developed chemistry. But when you got 75 receptions for 1,300 yards, D, right? He averaged 17, almost 18 yards a catch, right? That's because what? He's stretching the field because of what? Of what's happening underneath. You got Kittles, you got Debo. So he's the guy that's going to take it off the top. Because if anybody's going to go deep, it's going to be Ayuk. Or again, he's going to hit those intermediary routes. So that's your guy who's doing that. Because underneath, you got Debo with the screens, Debo with the curls, Debo with the comebacks. You're going to have those stick routes that he's going to run. Same thing with Kittles running his, Kittles is going to run some short crosser pick plays and stuff like that. He gets open in that area. So Ayuk is not like, it's not like CD. CD is the best player on the offense, right? You got no running game. He has to get the ball, but he's going to line up in different places and he's going to run a lot of different routes and he's going to get open that way. That's just it. That's not how they use Ayuk.
This is a Cowboys fan, clearly. This is a Cowboys fan.
I'm just trying to tell you.
I'm talking about.
I'm not saying this. Who's that? Oh, somebody. I was looking at the screen. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
49ers flags have all but disappeared. Not surprised that they're flags.
I know exactly who that is.
You know what that is? Okay.
He's a hater.
Okay.
He's a hater. That's what. He's a hater. He's a Cowboy fan.
He's a Cowboy fan. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Power Drill. We love to have you, man. I need all the Cowboy support I can get. You know what I'm saying? It gets rough sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Especially with Scrap being an Eagles fan. You know what I'm saying? Forgot to shout out to Scrap too, man. Scrap couldn't be with us tonight, but shout out to Scrap. But
shout out to his son too. Happy birthday to his son.
Happy birthday to his son. Absolutely. That's where he's spending some time with the fam. So that's a blessing, man.
We appreciate that.
The Ayuk is going to get tagged. I think that's what's going to happen. He wants too much because CD already said, I want to be the highest paid player. He's not going to get more than CD.
What does that have to do with CD? Who cares about CD?
CD's in the market to get, not in the market, but CD can get paid too. They may do a deal with CD. That's why it's real interesting in Dallas what they're going to do. Jerry's going to try to wait this all out because are you going to extend? Because the only way you could pay these guys, you got to extend Dak. That's the only way. So what are you going to do?
Well, we already said that. Dak's going to get $60
I don't know.
million a year.
I don't think they should. I personally, I don't.
You're going to go with Cooper Rush? Cooper Rush
I would love to go. Cooper's a good backup. Cooper's 4-1. Cooper beat Joe Burrow, and he beat Matthew Stafford. Okay, he can play.
So Cooper Rush,
but Cooper Rush is a free agent too, so we're gonna probably lose him anyway.
So then Trey Lance then.
Yeah, it's gonna be maybe Trey. I won't mind. What D? What are you gonna get with Dak? Not gonna get anything with Dak. We're gonna first round exit. So what? What? You want a whole lot of here he goes in the regular
12
season?
12-5.
Then
I don't think
what the argument you've been making for the last 30 minutes.
He made it that never happened before, right? There was no
3 straight years in a row we went 12-5.
That's what I'm saying. That's impressive. Yeah, they're gonna pay for that because Jerry Jones understands that winning, having a winning season, making it to the playoffs, whatever, it doesn't matter what you do once you get there, but winning your division, that is enough to keep Cowboy fans, Pow Drill, and you and everyone, keeping you guys feeling good about just being a mediocre team. And so, you guys are encouraged. You guys are encouraged by that. This will be your year. Because you went from after your loss, I'm disassociating myself with the Cowboys. 2 weeks later, you had the jacket
I'm not gonna be
on.
emotionally invested. That's all. I'm not emotionally invested any longer. I'm not. I'm not gonna be. No, I'm not. I'm not. Because D, it doesn't matter.
Like Zimmerman,
I don't care what we do in the regular season.
The defensive coordinator. Did he get hired?
Yeah, they finally signed him. Yeah, they finally signed him. Yeah,
so are you excited about that?
Consummated the deal. He's all we can get. Zimmer's not a bad coach.
It's not all you can get. You could have got Rex Ryan.
I wouldn't want. Rex is a horrible hire. I'd definitely take Zimmer over him. I'll take Mike Zimmer any day over Rex. Rex Ryan is done, son. He's washed. All that blubbering he doing ESPN now is a bunch of blubber. I mean, he's been good over there, but he's been out of football.
Yeah, he's had some success.
He's had. I mean, he's.
How many years has Zimmerman been out of the NFL?
3, I think. He was the last coach that Minnesota had before this guy McConnell came in. Oh, not McConnell. What was it? McConnell? Right. Whoever the quarter. Yeah. He was he came in after McConnell. He was there before McConnell. I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, he had some successful. Yeah. He was over 500 in his time there, and he got him in playoffs. And they did that thing. They got to an AFC championship with Cade. What's his name? Forgot Case Keenum. I mean, Zimmer can coach defense now. All his defenses are good. And he was on our defensive unit when we won in 90. You
just got to have the personnel, though, just like anything else. You can have a.
I think we got the person. We just get the linebacker core.
You can have a great team, but if you don't execute, it doesn't matter. So.
I agree, Power Drill. That's it. I mean, Jerry, I don't believe. We're gonna go all in. Go ahead. What goes on? If you want to go all in, go ahead and sign Ayuk. You want to go all in? Go ahead and sign some players. Get some real names in there. If you're gonna go all in, that's what I would want to see.
No. Now you want Ayuk?
No. What I'm saying is, I'm saying about Jerry, if you want to go all in, go ahead and try to get Ayuk over there, right? What I'm saying is, we know he can't get Ayuk. But if he was going all in, make an attempt to get a guy you can't even get. Then we know you're going all in.
Well, first thing he needs to do is get a running back. That's the first order of business.
Got to get one from the draft. And
I'm not Derrick Henry.
Nah, I don't want to hear that. Henry's not enough for us. We need different backs. We got to get some guys.
Why is he
we need some youth.
Why can't you use him and Pollard? Or you
because Derrick Henry is a power back. I mean, we need a guy. We gotta evolve, man. You gotta get some guys that could move.
What was Zeke?
You need some all-purpose backs.
I'm just saying, what was Zeke? Was he a power back?
Yeah, Zeke was because he wasn't an all-purpose back like that. In the early part of his career, he was catching the ball in the backfield, and Zeke did catch the ball in the backfield.
He caught out of the backfield. But what I'm saying is, why are we now scoffing at power backs when you have speed and feed? Why can't that be the new version of speed and feed?
Because we don't have a speed because Rico
Pollard said he feels better now. He said
I don't care what he feels.
He said he feels better now. Gucci sweater now.
That's good. Feel better now. Gucci sweater.
He said it took him till week 11 to feel like himself again.
Look, he did come off a bad. Remember, he got hurt late in the season, so his surgery, recovery time. So, I mean, we expected that, but the line was bad too. We're gonna lose Tyler Biadasz, our center, because he wasn't really good this year. Biadasz is average. Since we lost our Hall of Fame center in Travis Fredericks, that was it. To the disease, he had the whatever, I forget, it was the Baron something disease he had, and that was it. So he had to retire. And Tyler Biotish is not it. He's too small. He doesn't play. He can't get to the second level. He gets bull rushed almost every running play. So, Pollard had a bad line he was running against. Steele was bad this year. He was horrible. Zach didn't even have a really good year. He's in the Pro Bowl and made All-Pro because of Zach Martin. Yeah, he didn't have the kind of year he would have, for his standard. Let's just put it that way. You know what I'm saying? But D, man, you listen. Don't give up. D. I don't want to hear your sob story, man. All right, see, America.
There's no sob story.
No, the window's closed, the doors are shut.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Realistically speaking,
I'm not out tonight.
We have to be. No, we're not. I'm not doing that. I'm not.
The window is closing because it's Mahomes, and I get it. We all lose. We're all chasing Mahomes.
Not because it's Mahomes.
Why?
It's Mahomes. You're missing my point.
What's your point then?
When you think of how many injuries took place this year,
okay, so injuries,
AFC and NFC. I'm talking about from the quarterback position.
The quarterback, okay.
The quarterbacks, it hasn't been like that.
So you have Rodgers, you have Burrow in the AFC, but what does the AFC got to do with y'all? You just got to get out the NFC and go back.
What I'm saying is the level of competition on all teams is going to get better. Yeah. It's going to be tough for them to get back, but certainly I'm talking about throughout the season. When you think about how we have made our playoff runs, deep playoff runs, we did that a lot of times, suffering some significant injuries and still being able to make it.
Okay.
Knock on wood, this year, we didn't really have any significant injuries. No. We had one, of course.
In the early part of the year when Trent and Debo went down.
But I'm talking about
what?
I'm talking about going into the playoffs, missing significant players. We didn't do that. We were healthy, right? Yeah. And so when you factor in the parity amongst the entire NFL, you would expect that you got AFC lost a lot of quarterbacks, right? So when you're factoring in who you're going to play in the regular season, are we going to be the number one seed? Will we have to play? Like, it was set up for us to be successful. If you think about it.
I get you there, and I understand that. I understand what you're saying.
And how many times are you going to go to a Super Bowl or an NFC Championship game and not cash in? I realize, but if you take it from the way you view it as, I want to be eliminated, I don't even want to get that deep into it, then that's one thing. Then you could take it that way. For me, us getting this far and not cashing at least one or two times, we lost to Kansas City twice. We lost to Baltimore, right? That's 3 Super Bowls. We should have gotten at least one of them. At least one.
Yeah, you should have, D. They all come and all of those games came out to the wire, right? For all intents and purposes, and I agree. Maybe that's just the frustration of not being able to get over the top. But getting to the Super Bowl or at the NFC Championship game at the minimum, it's not far-fetched for the Niners to be back. In fact, Vegas got y'all winning it. You actually got y'all favored to win the Super Bowl. And I know it doesn't, but what I'm saying, though, but at the end of the day, think about your path getting back to the NFC Championship. Who in the NFC is stopping the Niners again? Who? Nobody. Dallas?
Well, we expect that the Eagles are going to get better, right? We expect that Dallas,
How?
Detroit.
Eagles got to get some coordinators, and their secondary. Let they get that secondary right. They're done. I know Reddick said that he wasn't requesting a trade, but no. But even if you got,
just think about the teams that we would potentially. Green Bay is going to get better, right? Detroit is already up and coming, biting kneecaps. They have a young team, right?
Okay.
Dallas, Eagles, right? Do we expect these teams to fall flat on their face? We don't expect the Eagles to be better. Not talking about record-wise, but the way they play. We don't expect, because the coach is on the hot seat, so he's going to have to produce. They're going to be fired up to produce, play at a high level.
The Niners, Donald, the Niners are still the team to beat in the NFC. You can give me all the stuff you want to say about
I understand
getting
that.
better and
what I'm
who
saying
got more
is
anointing and who's got
one seed, and we were healthy.
And you lost to Mahomes, and so you lost to Kansas City and Mahomes, like a guy that's going to
lose to a better team. Is my point? We didn't lose to a better team.
Buffalo lost to a team that they were better than. So did Baltimore. So did a lot of teams in this, and so did the 49ers. But D, again, all I'm trying to get you to understand is that it's not about all that other stuff. It's about one guy. That's what it comes down. D, he's the Jordan of the NFL. Charles Barkley couldn't get it done because he was playing Jordan. Mahomes, Stockton, great teams in Utah. They couldn't get it done. Why? Because of one man that stood in their way. Gary Payton couldn't do it. Sean Kemp couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. Magic couldn't even do it in his last time going into the finals with the Lakers. Why? Because of one man that stopped them. D, they just can't. What do you want them to do? What do you want the Niners to do? You can't beat them. It's just Mahomes. That's all it is. And if he had two good tackles, he probably would have made the game interesting against Tampa Bay. And who knows? I mean, the guy was laying horizontal to the ground and still throwing darts and hitting Tyreek Hill in the face mask with passes. That's how, I mean, D, you lost to a great guy. That team was not, that's not going to be mistaken as one of the greatest teams to ever win a Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay? All right? Look who he beat. Patty, the truth. Yeah, all I'm saying, D, is that you I think, and again, I understand there's still some pain there and there's some sadness and there's some disappointment there, D. I get it. I feel you, because when you put it in the culmination of all these times y'all been there, I understand that. But but can I just get you to reset and say, okay, we still got the NFC and we're still the best team in the NFC. No. D. Y'all not the best team in the NFC still?
That doesn't matter. The Niners aren't the best team in the
NFC? Why does it matter? D, you just got to get back there again.
There's no parades for that. There is not an NFC championship parade.
I'm not saying to dummy down your aspirations
I would say
or get a participation award. I'm not saying that.
I would say this. I'm not saying this in any funny way. If the Cowboys won as much as we won in recent times and didn't win a ring, you would feel the same way. But because you guys never get that deep, you don't feel the same way.
No,
Miami,
it's a different feeling.
Shout out to Corey.
If
Miami got deep,
right?
If the Eagles, yes, they've won most recent, and they got deep last year, right? But if you get there that many times and you don't cash one of them, Kaepernick, we have Jimmy G, now Brock Purdy. Our teams have, and in my opinion, it wasn't like we got the doors blown off on us. We had the lead in all of those games. And
but D, who did you lose to? Who did you lose to?
2 times to Mahomes.
That's it. Don't they eat that? Listen, the Eagles lost. Don't D.
I can understand losing with Tyreek and Kelsey.
Put an asterisk to that.
As crazy as that is. That game, that team made sense because they were world beaters. But to lose to this team, it just hits a little different.
But D, but you're underestimating still. I know Kansas City had a bad season, but you're underestimating Spags, who was a three-time Super Bowl champion. All right, who coaches defenses in Super Bowls. That's what he does. Okay, he had a really good defense, young defense. Okay, and if they keep Jones and Snead, they're gonna still remain good, and they're young. Like you're acting like you lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who stumbled and bumbled as a Cinderella team in a Super Bowl, and you lost to them. No, you lost to still a very good team that had championship pedigree, that rolls up in the playoffs and played to the level of who they are. They're champions. They're the defending champions, Donald. Did they not win the Super Bowl last year? What? Virtually the same team. The same team. The same bad receiving core, and they still won a Super Bowl against an Eagle team that actually outplayed them in that Super Bowl, for crying out loud. But who's the difference, D? It is Mahomes. So what I don't understand. What is this? You know, we're not doing the windows cold. We're not gonna win. We should have won. You lost to Mahomes twice. So that's it. That's the consolation right there. We got to be able to beat Mahomes when we get back into what you should be. This is what you should be saying. This is what you should be saying. Right. You're losing to a team that would have got there for the first time. Yeah, that would hurt more. You ain't lose to them. You lost to Patrick freaking Mahomes. So I'm saying, who was defending his title, by the way?
I don't see it that way.
That's how you need to see it, D. Because D, what other obstacle is there? You named the 4 NFC Championship games that y'all been to. 2 of which you lost. 2 to Super. You got past 2, but went into a Super Bowl and lost. Who did you lose to, D? Who'd you lose to?
So let me just tell you this. I think,
and you beat up.
We played better. We could have beaten the Rams, and we would have. I think would have.
All right, well, Garoppolo lost that game. That was a bad play. That stupid throw right there. That was it was dumb, right? Garoppolo, and you were playing against, but D, you were playing against. Actually, if the truth be told, D, okay, the Rams actually were a better team. They were a better team. They were a better team against y'all.
I don't know if they were a better team.
I think they were a better team.
We swept them in the regular season. We own them overall. I think we're overall, 9
so that's true. But they were still considered the better team, and they were at home, and they stacked up a lot.
They wanted to make sure that they played that Super Bowl at SoFi.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to say, and that's there you go, the conspiracy theory again. D. No conspiracy. Okay, you're not gonna, and I know you preface it by saying it will sound like an excuse, but no, D, we're not going conspiracy theory today.
So it's just Patrick Mahomes is so good that our offense and our defense is shut down by Patrick Mahomes.
Because he dictates your offense too. He dictates your offense too.
What are you talking about? No, he doesn't.
D, if either you want to keep him on the sideline or you're not,
then Shanahan needs to go. If Mahomes dictates
maybe that's a more viable argument. That's a more viable argument.
If I don't agree with it, if you're saying that Patrick Mahomes was dictating what we do offensively,
I'm gonna tell you how.
Then Shanahan needs to go.
He did the same thing that the OC did for Baltimore, and what Brady and all those guys, the OC for Buffalo, did along with Allen. I'm gonna tell you why. Here's what people do, D. They panic. That's why they go away from the run. Because they got to get the home run. They got to make the play. And that's the only way they think they can beat Mahomes. But if you just stay patient with the run and keep him off the field, that's the only way you're going to beat him. Don't give him the ball back. You can't have threes, and you can't be freaking trying to throw the ball all over the yard, especially against that defense. That's a good secondary. They got the best. Snead and McDuffie are shut down
the
corners
ball on him. It wasn't shut down. That's the whole point.
Y'all did.
They were shut down for the year.
Y'all moved the ball, but did y'all score? Would you get touchdowns? Not to the level you should have. Well, then that's the credit to the D. You got to credit their defense. That's fact. Spags is an all-world. There is no, other than Belichick, there is no other defensive coordinator that's better in Super Bowls coaching defense than Spags and Belichick. That's it. Nobody is better. This man won 3. He beat Brady, and he won 2 with the Chiefs. And I'm telling you, D, he knows how to coach defense in the Super Bowl. You can't stop thinking that that's on y'all. Give credit to Kansas City. And that's another thing. Let me say this to you before I know we get ready to wind down here. Let me say this to you, D. Okay? Now here's where you gotta take you gotta take this hit right here. Okay? You gotta get this on the chin.
I took the hit already.
But D, you came in very, 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 very arrogant. You thought your team was that much better than the Chiefs, and you felt that you was going to blow this team out. And I told you, D, still a very good team.
So,
okay, you underestimated them.
I didn't underestimate them. My feeling is this: we ultimately, let's get to the nitty gritty. We lost, right?
Right.
If we played the way we played from the start of the game, we win. We win, and we win by 10 points. Like I said, actually my score was we were going to win by 11 points.
Oh, you got to give me credit to their defense for the way y'all played, though. It's just, and I agree there was some calls that I think Shanahan should have ran the ball more. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, they still
we're a better team. If we play to our strengths, we win the game.
But D, their defense,
there is even with the loss, there is no convincing me any differently.
So you're not going to give them any credit for taking away all those weapons?
No, I'm giving them the credit. They got the ring. Okay. That's the credit. They have a parade in 2 days. That's the credit. If we play to our strengths,
but why
they are not good enough to beat us.
Well,
they are terrible against the run, and we got away from it.
But there's no such thing as a team that's bad against the run that all of a sudden knows how to to come up with a scheme to stop the run. Particularly, I mean, look at the. Let's do the inverse, right? We talked about that in the pregame. The 49ers was stopping the run all year. Y'all were the best team against the run. Y'all only gave up about 75 yards on the ground per game. But then y'all look like a freaking D3 school against Detroit and Green Bay. Right.
And then what did we do in the Super Bowl?
Right. And y'all came back.
We got back to what if we play to our strengths, we are we are better than Kansas City, this team.
But D, y'all are. If y'all play Kansas City 5 more times, y'all would probably win maybe 3 out of the 5 times. Maybe.
I don't
maybe.
know. I don't know
maybe.
anymore. I don't
but
know.
Mahomes is the difference. D, and even if y'all played y'all best, D, I'm trying to tell you, Mahomes is still going to make the difference when it comes down to everything in the nitty-gritty. That's what the greats do, D. They were listen, you think Jordan's team wasn't better than Seattle? They weren't better than that Phoenix team with Barkley and KJ and Marley. He wasn't better than those Utah teams in a lot of ways. They weren't there. Those teams were not, at the end of the day, right? Think about those teams. Who's winning with Winningham and Luke Longley and Scott Williams and
so
Cliff
maybe it's
Livingston.
Coming down to a mental edge. Now, if you want to say that, because personnel-wise, we'll agree to disagree on that. Personnel-wise, there is no comparison.
No, there isn't, and everybody said that. I got no argument from me there.
Edge,
on paper, y'all are way
I'm more
better.
concerned if it's a mental edge, because then that puts us in the same ballpark as Buffalo. I personally think Josh Allen will never beat Patrick Mahomes. Never. I think Patrick Mahomes has the mental edge. It doesn't matter who they get at running back. It doesn't matter who they get with receiver. I think now Joe Burrow, he doesn't have that mental edge because Joe Burrow, of course, successfully beat him. But I think when healthy and with his team, the way it's assembled with his receivers, they can go toe to toe. And I think he has the poise to beat Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I agree.
Josh Allen will never beat him, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I just think mental edge. Now, if you're saying every time we play them with a lesser team and a greater team personnel and we can't beat them, then that boils down to a mental edge. And if it's one of those things where we're mentally, like how Mike Tyson would come in the ring with the shorts, no socks, black towel, and people, you saw them when they were getting their instructions from the ref, their eyes were crossing and their lips were trembling. If Patrick Mahomes has us like that as a team, even being better, then we're in some real trouble. I just think. Well,
then you're in the same boat as Allen, and then you just got to be able to get the mental fortitude, right? So that's all. But that's the point I've been making all night. Is because of Mahomes, what he does to people when he plays against them. He will take you out of your character.
Rod. It's a team sport.
D.
Cooler heads have to prevail. So the coaching,
teams don't. The players don't win. Players do.
Whose responsibility is it for the team? The coach's responsibility is to get the players, the jitters out of the players and get them thinking for the next play, thinking you don't have to think 5 plays ahead. Just execute this play successfully.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
no, you're right. But your coaches got out coached, and I think not only did coaches get out coached, I don't think it was on the players. If you ask me, D, honestly, where did the players mess up? Okay, CMC fumbled, but that got canceled out when Pacheco fumbled, right? You had
they didn't score anything. So as far as I was concerned,
that game came down to schematics, and it came down to coaching and not deferring the kickoff and the overtime. That's what it comes down to put that pressure on Mahomes and Reed to make a decision on 4th down. Now you gave them 4 downs when you did that. Right. So that's all coaching. So that's not the players. It's not the players. Purdy didn't play bad, and let's give KC credit. They took away Ayuk. They took away Kittles. They took away Debo. And the only one that got touches was CMC, right? And that's what they did. And you got to give them credit for that.
But if you just said it was coaching, did they take them away, or did the coach not schematically set them up? I find it hard to believe.
That's coaching.
But that's not taking them away. Taking somebody away to me is you're targeting them and they can't get off. We took Kelsey away. They didn't even half. For the first half. Yeah, we took him away. Pacheco didn't get off. We shut that run down. That's taking it away. When you don't like your best weapons or all this plethora of weapons you have, you choose not to utilize these weapons in the myriad of ways you could to get them open. I find it Kansas City's defense, top-ranked defense. but I find it hard to believe that they would be able to take every weapon we have away. They're not that good.
But D, they took away some of the
And Mahomes
things.
is sitting, so you can't say Mahomes was now playing the cornerback.
No. But again, I just told you one of the greatest defensive minds in a Super Bowl was who you were up against.
But
and
you need
Spags,
personnel, though. You need personnel still. They have.
they got
two
two good corners and they got good safeties. Like they gotta. That's where the strength of their defense is in the back end and their secondary.
Then what do you do? If their back end is good, then what do? You run the ball, right?
You were supposed to. Yeah, you were supposed to run the ball.
And we have the best running back in the game. So once again, he should have had 30 touches.
But I mean, McCaffrey had 22 catches for 22 carries for 80 yards, as long as it was an 11-yard run, okay? And that's not bad. It's not bad, right? But what is Shanahan thinking? It's not enough. It's not explosive. That's nickel and diming our way around, but that's not enough to beat Mahomes. I need something bigger. And then when he tries to go to the Ayuks, who only had 3 catches for 49, and Debo with 3 for 33, and Uchecks with 2 for 31, right? Why is that happening, D? Because they took away the things that y'all like to do. Somewhere in that scheme, y'all were not able to do the things y'all like to do. Now, they gave y'all some catches here and there, right? And here's the deal. I'm going to make this point right here, D. And this is what I'm telling you the difference between a Mahomes read and what Shanahan and the Niners are doing and how they win with such a lesser roster, if you will. What the Niners were trying to do was, like you said, play the way that they always play. If they do that, they win. Well, Kansas City said, we're not going to let you play the way you're going to play. We're going to tell you what we're going to give you. This is what you're going to work with. See if your star players can grind themselves out with some plays here in the flat. We're going to give you maybe a little bit here and there, this, that, and the third, on some wide out or a few curls. We'll let you live on that. But all that with Ayuk running across the field, catching for 30 yards, and that's going to be all day. That's not have Debo running tunnel screens and just bursting up the middle for 45 yards on the run. Not happening. Yeah, CMC, you're going to get that. But we're going to shut you down in terms of what you love to do. And we're going to give you just enough and see if you can win. Now, here's the other side of this, D. Kansas City says, we don't have the big name players. We ain't got no Ayuks and Kittles and Debos. We ain't got no CMCs. But here's what we're going to do. Our guys, like McCole Hardman, 3 for 57. His longest was what? A 52-yard catch. 3 for 54 for Justin Watson, 3 for 54. His longest was a 25-yard catch, okay? Rasheed Weiss, 6 for 39. He had a 13-yard catch, okay, which was a big one that came win at the moment. See what I'm trying to say, D? It's the moments when these guys will show up. They don't need to get 10 catches for 150 yards. That's not how they're going to win. It was their defense that was going to keep them in a game. And Mahomes, you just make the throws when you need to make the throws. And guys, catch the ball when we need you to catch the ball. 3rd and 4th down. That's all we need. That's all. And Mahomes is going to use his legs, which he did in that overtime. And that's what the greats will do. If that's all you're going to give us, we'll take it, but we're going to make it play. We're going to make it work. All your guys, what if Ayuk's catches, D, came in the most critical times? What if Debo's catches came when it was critical? Didn't happen. Because when it was crunch time, here comes the blitz. Here comes the cornerback off the side, sitting a safety blitz up there where Purdy couldn't read it, couldn't get the protection over there. That's when it counts, D, and that's what happened. It was those moments, and that's not what the Niners was able to do. You looking to win big, but when it gets into a game against that guy, you're going to have to go down into the trenches of your coaching to get that game out schematically, and I don't think that they did that. That's all. But you're the best in the NFC. And you know what? I actually believe the Niners will go back to the NFC.
Give me a cup of coffee, and I don't drink.
Well, listen, you can get a lot. I'll send you my card. You can get a Starbucks. Get it on me. Be free. And that cup of when you sip that cup of coffee, you'll say, you know what? We're the best in the NFC, and we'll be back to play Mahomes again, and we'll see how it goes. Because Mahomes is going back again next year. He's going back again next year. There's no reason to see otherwise.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
If the team was like this and they still won, listen.
Well, that's indeed. They weren't even any different than last year.
They're not the most talented team in the AFC. I mean, really,
No, they're not.
I mean,
but it's coaching, D. But it's
the best.
It's all about players win games, D, not teams. Players, not teams. Players win games. Players. That's it. That's what we lost in this generation today with this whole thing today. You know what I'm trying to say? It's all about it's too much where I don't know. I just don't like it. You relied on your star players to show up, your superstars, your greats. That's how you won games. That's why Brady's considered the best, because he stepped up, and that's what made him great. And that's what I'm saying. It's all about the great ones. And the 49ers didn't have a great, their greats didn't step up, but I don't think that was because of the players. I just think Shanahan got out-coached. And so did Steve Wilkes. He got out-coached. That's all that was. I think that's what it comes down to. Because nobody because y'all was able to grind out games against Green Bay and Detroit. They didn't put up big numbers in those games. But y'all were able to get out, coach him, and bite kneecaps. Guy did stupid things that y'all capitalized on. That's all. Love was too young to understand that you don't throw across your body in triple coverage on a 1st and 10 play. It's not 4th and 10. It was 1st and 10. What are you making a heroic throw like that for? That was dumb. But you're playing against a seasoned champion. You don't make those mistakes. And then Shanahan needed to go all the way down to his playbook with all them colors and his crayons. He needed to pull out another one and find out what other plays.
The only way I will feel good about or be okay with the results based on what I think our team should have done based on our personnel and what we actually did is if Mahomes wins 8 Super Bowls. Then I'll feel like it makes sense. He needs to unequivocally be the greatest. Like, hands down.
So
I don't want him to win 8. I mean, I want us obviously to still win. But if he gets to when he's done, right? When he's done and he has 8 Super Bowls, maybe 11 appearances, then I'll say, you know what?
Then you mean to tell me you need to see the end of his career in order to appreciate the fact that you lost 2 Super Bowls to one of the greatest.
I don't feel good about the losses. I shouldn't. I have to accept
in theory, no. I mean, you shouldn't feel good about the loss. I mean,
if you lose to the greatest team, right? And I don't think they're the greatest team. I just think they have the greatest quarterback.
That's all.
But I think it will. It now, if you're talking about, because you've been trying to give me a consolation prize for an hour and 30 minutes. If you want to give, the only consolation I will take is if he is clear cut the greatest quarterback we have ever seen.
What do you mean?
Statistically, and eye test. I mean,
so D, you don't project it, but D, he's already shown you that by winning 2 back-to-back Super Bowls with an average receiving core.
Yeah, he's a great.
Nobody in those receiving cores is going to a Hall of Fame, not even a Pro Bowl, probably, other than Kelsey. So why would you not give him the credit now? He said you'll probably have lost 4 of them, but he talking about if you win 11 Super Bowls. Lord. But D, I don't understand you. See, D, you gotta humble yourself, okay?
What do you mean?
You're not humbled enough. You're not. You are still not giving this. You didn't give this team no credit going into the game, and you're still not giving this team credit even after the loss.
So can I just say this? Can we say this for the record? Okay. The first half, I didn't. We have a group chat. When games go on, we rib each other. There was nothing said. Nobody said a mumbling word.
About what?
Nobody about anything. When we were
well, honestly, I wanted you to watch the game because the way that game was going, I didn't want to. I didn't want to mess with you.
Like you care. You don't care. If I watch the game.
I don't want the 49ers to win. I care about you, not the Niners.
You were completely quiet. You were.
I was.
You and Scrap didn't say a word.
No, we were chiming in the first half. We were talking a lot in the first half. But I'm saying, but even when y'all were doing well, you didn't entice us. You didn't entice us. Like even when y'all did well, you didn't entice us. Because that game, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I had no vested interest. But the
only thing I said to you guys in the first half was the Niners defense is back. That's the only thing I texted you guys. And
you did. And I said yes.
The way they were playing, they were playing to the standard that they should. Given the personnel and the skills that they should have played. They should have, and all honesty, and they didn't do it. They should have dominated
humility. You're not giving this team that you lost to any credit. That you lost to one of them. You mean to tell me it's not going to be until 2085?
I didn't answer. Listen, I didn't talk to Only the people who saw my initial reaction. I went to a Super Bowl party.
Right.
Those are the people that saw my reaction. It was a little more like just, man, I can't believe it ended like that.
Right.
But the next day, people were texting me, I just told everyone I need to process this.
Yeah, and I didn't answer. That's why you didn't hear from me at all. You didn't hear from us. A little bit. I think I told you a few little things, but I wasn't messing with you. I just
wanted to process it and think. I recorded it. I didn't watch it again, right? Because I know what happened. I know what the end's gonna be, right? I read the back of the book. I read the end of the book.
The back of the book.
I know what the end's gonna be. So I didn't watch it, but I had to process what I saw, and I had to be like, okay, let me pro and con. How it could have changed. What could we have done? Tick for tack. And so when I add 2 + 2, it equals 4. And in my mind, I'm saying what makes it so disappointing is not that we lost. But in my opinion, we lost to an inferior team. That's what is more disappointing. They're not a better team, Rod.
They're not. No, they're not.
No, they're inferior. If they're not better, they're inferior.
But teams don't win games. The great ones do. That's all I'm telling you. That's the point you're not understanding tonight. And I'm trying to help you to reprocess what you processed. Because if that's what you came up with, if that's your final conclusion of what you processed, then D, you didn't process this properly. And I'm trying to help you understand and go through your pain. You can go through it a little bit better.
I need the Philadelphia process, right? Was that the
exactly.
process?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Right. You need the Sixers process. D, you are a better team, hands down, on paper. Position, skill players.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Alexa, stop. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. You good. But
Alexa started talking because they heard me talking, and then Alexa started responding.
No.
Alexa was like, Donald, you're right, because you know that the 49ers are a better team. So I had to tell her to be quiet.
Listen, well, Alexis don't know either because she's wired incorrectly. You know what I'm trying to say? Alexis don't know either. That's the problem. See, the AI don't know. That's probably she's Shanahan. She thinks like Shanahan. What I'm trying to tell you, D, Donald, you were the better team, but you lost to. In Power Drill is right. It's the coaching you lost to and the player. Shanahan is, and guess what? Reed used to beat Shanahan, right? He used to beat him. He couldn't get past the championship game. He went to 4 championship games. And then finally now he's won 3 Super Bowls. He's been to 4 Super Bowls, won 3 after losing 3 championship games in Philadelphia. Did win 1 championship, got to the Super Bowl and still lost. And who did he lose to? Right? So what I'm trying to say, and nobody's going to blame Reed and Donovan McNabb for losing to Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. You lost to Andy Reid. You lost to Patrick Mahomes. And though their team was not better than yours, but you lost to
They did blame him because they got him out of there, but I get what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying, D.
They got Andy Reid out of there. Once,
Who, Philly?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah, they did.
They rolled him out.
They felt that. Yeah, they rolled him out.
Even with all that success, they rolled him out.
Right, they did. Well, they just felt like, hey, he wasn't going to do any more than what he's going to do. That could be the case with Kyle. That could be the case with Dak. All right. At some point, you're going to be like, okay, look, this got to end some way. I mean, what are we going to keep? We can't keep doing this. We can't keep running this back, right? But the difference between Dak's failures and the difference between them losing the Eagles in those championship games, D, as they were losing to teams, it was one man that stopped y'all, and that's one man and one coach. And that's all I'm trying to tell you, D. You need more humility. Cool. You're not giving this team the greatness of Mahomes and Reed.
I just need you to answer your brother real quick. When do we do our recap shows? When do we do recap shows?
On Tuesdays.
Is today Tuesday? Is it Tuesday in Atlanta? It's Tuesday in California. So yes, we do. So no, if the show was Monday, there's no ducking. I would have been there. I would have faced the music. We
always do it on Tuesday. Yeah.
We always do it on Tuesday.
We always do it on Tuesday. Yeah.
Because
we don't do it on
in the regular season, there's Monday night, so we usually do a recap.
Right, we try to wait for the Monday night games.
So that's not why.
That's true. No.
But I
listen.
did need the day to process, though. The process was. But
listen, I don't know what it's like to
after
lose.
all of my process, I didn't come up with the right equation after the process, right?
No, you didn't. No, I think with your conclusion and what you came to be end result of your processing just doesn't. There's no ingredients of humility there. You're not giving this team. You're not. Do you know what you should be saying?
I gave them.
No.
So
no,
what?
No, you didn't. No,
I gave them credit.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. Clearly, the better. Know what you keep saying? Won. The better team.
Now the better team won. The better team. Was it the better team that won, or was it the better player and coach that won? That's really what it is. And I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to give the 49er fans some help here. Y'all were the better team, but you lost to the better or the greater quarterback and the greater coach. That's all. That's all, D. That team can't match up with y'all. If you put anybody else on that team, you put Herbert on that team, they lose. You put Herbert on right now in the Chiefs, they lose. Give them Joe Burrow, they lose. Give them Trevor Lawrence, they lose. Give them Aaron Rodgers, they definitely lose because y'all own him anyway. Yeah, so you give him Allen, they lose. Tua, they lose. It doesn't matter. They win with that average receiving core because of that one man and his coach. That's why, D. That's why. That's all it is, D. So I'm trying to tell you, you only lost to a greater player and a greater coach. That game came down to the end. And let me say this for the record, because I said this in the preview. I said y'all defense is looking trash against the run, and I felt Pacheco was going to have a big game. But kudos to the Niners. Y'all's defense showed. Wilkes did put together, I thought, a really good defensive plan for the first 3.5 quarters.
For the first half. And then he
Yeah.
started.
Second half too. I mean, you got the pick right out the gate. You got the pick. Bad throw by Mahomes. I mean, I don't know if it sailed or I don't know what he was. It looked like he was trying to get to Kelsey on that play. But you got that. But Kyle couldn't get it done. Kyle couldn't. He's calling. Well, the offsides really was the false start.
But you
really
said
was
players. But see, this is the only problem I have, and we can wrap up. You said players win the game, right? Not coaches, right?
No. I said great players win the game, not teams.
Not teams.
Right.
Okay, so how many great players do we have on our team? How many great players do the 49ers
great players? Y'all don't have great players on your team. You got very, very good.
What?
You got good. You have
so
very
CMC
high level,
is not a great player.
High level skill players.
CMC is not a great player.
Okay, I'll say.
Come on, Ryan. Don't lose your credibility in the last 10 seconds of the show. CMC is not a great player.
When I think of great, I'm thinking about great that get overcome.
He's the
best running back in the league by far.
Of running backs. That's what you said.
I did say that. Okay, you're right. No, you're right. Okay, all right.
What you say can
you got great players. Okay, so you're
on Brooklyn Beards and Ball. So please.
Okay. All right. You got me.
I was resistant to what you were saying. I still was listening.
All right. Yeah, I know. It felt like it was so long ago when I said that. Right. You're right, Don. I agree.
Right.
You're right. No, you got great players. So what's your point? What was your question? So you got great players. What happened?
Is that if you match up, now we clearly, without question, Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback ever, right? And on our previous show, when we were arguably, but I don't really think so. I don't really think, and real quick, let me just make this comparison. From a standpoint of accomplishments, Tom Brady is the best, right? But if you go on mobility, arm strength, and just IQ, I think it's clear that Patrick Mahomes on a talent level is greater than Brady.
Well,
all he needs to do is, because the comparison is okay. We know that Jordan, when we talk about basketball and there's the GOAT conversation, we talk about Jordan and LeBron, right? And we say that Jordan was he dominated, right? So not only did he show dominance, he didn't let people eat on his reign, right?
Right.
And that's the knock on LeBron. LeBron lets people still eat when he's supposed to be in his dominance. But at the same time, when you compare them, the fact that LeBron has the assist, the scoring, the rebounds, the playoff appearances, so when you look from accomplishment standpoint, then you it kind of brings it closer. Of course, for me, it's still Jordan. That being said, when you compare the teams, I'm talking about from top to bottom. We know Patrick Mahomes is head and shoulders above everybody.
Right.
But when you talk about skill players, I just think due to coaching, we agree that the coaches didn't maximize and utilize the players and personnel that they had. Mm-hmm. I think it's an underperformance. And, I leave
that's
that
on the
game,
coaching, not the players, but that's on the coaching, right?
not putting them in position, right, to win.
Well, the play calling, I thought, yeah, and in the defense too, the schemes that y'all were playing, soft coverage, all that stuff. Yeah, like
all things being equal,
right?
If you utilize your players and their skill sets to their full potential, we win every day. We win that game hands down because we are a better team.
Right, you're a better team. Yeah,
because Mahomes is the quarterback.
But you could say that a lot. Like, right? I mean, I get what you're saying. With if the Niners coach the perfect game and put their players in the best position to win, do they win the game?
System?
Yeah.
Why do you say in that system? Did you not see what he did in Carolina when he had 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving?
I said that. Yeah.
Oh,
I said
okay.
He was great in Charlotte too, though. I thought. Yeah.
Did you see what he was doing in Stanford? Like, I don't know.
That's why they gave up 25 picks for him. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they were all,
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, but I'm saying, but just to add to the point of how good he is. But I'm saying, though, but D, I get what you're saying, right? But the great ones, what I'm saying is, but that wasn't the case, right? Your coaches didn't put your guys in the best position to win. But I still think, though, even if you had your best coaching day, right? Everybody has a ceiling. So if you put Kyle at the ceiling of his greatness of a coach, it wouldn't have been enough still for Reed. Reed would have still outcoached him at some point. Spags is going to outcoach. Spags is going to outcoach Shanahan, and Reed is going to definitely outcoach Wilks. And that's what you saw. And that's really what it comes down to. And even if Shanahan is on his game, he's rocking, but we know that there's some limitations there because we've seen it already in the past with Shanahan. Shanahan doesn't do well when he's got either the lead or not the lead. He just doesn't, for whatever reason, he just forgets how to call games. I don't know what it is. So you weren't going to beat, even as bad as the team as Kansas City is, as far as not being better than y'all, it wouldn't have mattered because, Mahomes would have capitalized on those deficiencies at some point. So that's all I'm saying, D. That's all I'm saying, man. No, I mean,
all I'm saying is this.
And for the record, he's not better than Joe Montana yet. Huh?
Is Buster Douglas better than Mike Tyson?
No, he's not. No way. No.
But he beat him, right?
But he beat him. So what's your point?
That's the end. That's all. We can end on that. We can end on that note. This was a Buster Douglas.
Oh, you better not say that. Donald, now don't you lose credit. Donald,
we can go. We can go now. We can end the show.
We are not going to end this NFL season this way. Donald, stop it. You were to retract that statement. You are not comparing the Super Bowl loss to Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. How dare you think No. But you know what though? Maybe we should, because that's how you came into the Super Bowl. You gave this team that Mike Tyson overlooked Buster Douglas, partied all night, didn't even practice, barely trained, did nothing. And that was your mentality.
There was reports
that was your mentality against this team.
Some of the 49er players was out hanging a little bit too long.
Was it really? Is that true?
Yeah, I saw something.
Was it?
On X about that. Yeah, Twitter.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. The guy that missed the block, the guy that Feliciano said that they started blaming and pointing the fingers at each other. Said that he was out and sometimes people can make up statements on Twitter and make it seem like it's coming from the person. But I think someone said that he was out partying too late, and
And what player was this? Who was this? What player?
Who was I forget the guy's name. He was supposed to, on that play where Purdy missed what's his name? Number 15 with the red.
Oh, Jennings.
He missed Jennings. When he overthrew Jennings towards the right corner of the end zone, because Witchcourt came right in, Jones came in, and Purdy had to just launch it, and he overthrew him.
Oh, yeah, that was in overtime.
They were supposed to chip Jones to just slow him down to give Purdy just enough to step into the pass.
Step into the throw. Yeah,
and
because he did have him. Yeah, that's a touchdown right there. That was a touchdown throw right there. I mean, a touchdown play to play design. Yeah, but that was just there. They missed Jones. They let Jones.
Although I do appreciate him being on the show and joining in more often than not. This is the longest he's ever been and stayed for the show. Feel free to, if you got somewhere to go, just feel free.
But I'm gonna say Power Drill. I don't think them not knowing the rules, and I think the media made a big deal of that. I don't think
now look at this. A Tampa Bay fan
Tampa
comes
Bay,
into the
no
building
excuses.
at the
D,
last
well,
second.
D, now you know they're coming for you, man.
Oh no, they can come.
It's part of the territory.
These are the brothers in my church.
The brothers in your church, brother Mark is in the building, brother Power Drill is in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's going on, man? The guy, what's good with y'all?
I appreciate.
But D, man, they got.
I'm glad the show's almost over before everyone starts chiming in.
Yeah, it's not like they maybe have to come in on you, man. They coming in on you, man.
Because
you know what I'm saying?
This was I think I like that. This was Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas, this Super Bowl.
Your mentality was a Mike Tyson.
It was.
You were not going to say it was.
But,
and I told you in the pregame.
What happened was
underestimating
when
this team.
Mouthpiece in backwards, it was over. Listen, when he didn't, when he said, when they had the opportunity and they won and they had tails or heads or whatever, and he said we'll receive, that was putting the mouthpiece in backwards, and I was like,
wait, say that again. Say that again.
In overtime, instead of deferring, they took it. That was the equivalent of Mike Tyson. You remember when Mike Tyson got knocked down and they was counting and he put the mouthpiece in backwards and then they just finished it?
Yeah, that was equivalent to that. Yeah, Shanahan. Yeah, that's Shanahan putting the mouthpiece in wrong.
He did text me. You did text me and I appreciate it because he only texted me because when the Cowboys lost, I texted him, "Are you good?" And so he did the same thing to me. "Are you good?" And I want to tell you, man, that's why. And he's a witness. He texts me. I didn't answer. Let me tell you, be honest.
Yeah.
My parents text me. "You okay?" I said, "Yo, listen, I'm not talking. I'm saving all of my takes for the show. Tune in." Someone else was like, "Oh yeah, Corey, yo, my family wants to get on it."
Yeah, Corey. No, that was Corey being facetious, though.
Of course he was.
Corey. Yeah, you know, Corey.
But the best thing to do is subscribe to the show.
Right.
Hit the button. Show. And when every time we put content up, you'll be notified. Best show of the season. Best show because we lost, right? But if we had won the Super Bowl, would it have been the best show? The best show was when Miami put up 70 points on the Broncos and then got the doors beat off them. I'm ready now. I'm back in the corner. I'm feeling pretty good now. I'm ready to take anybody that comes into the comments because I know all your teams. So I'm ready to answer and handle anybody that's ready. Tampa Bay, where you think you guys are going?
Tampa Bay.
What's
they're gonna lose Evans for sure. They're gonna lose Evans.
You're gonna lose Mike Evans, and then who you gonna have? You think Baker Mayfield is taking y'all somewhere?
They're gonna sign him though.
Absolutely not.
He's gonna get
in this corner. No, he's gonna get paid. But what are they gonna do? It's all good, man. I appreciate. I appreciate you guys.
It's all good, D. You know they gotta come for you, D. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I haven't even seen them in person. You better believe on Sunday when I see them.
Nah, he's not.
Bright and early Sunday morning, they're gonna surround me. I'm gonna have some noise canceling headphones in that just because we do some setting up for service. I'm just gonna have my noise canceling.
Oh yeah, they go.
Be talking. Noise canceling headphones.
Right, the noise.
Beats by Dre. While I work, I'm just
you have some big joints, so you
just gonna ignore them.
All right,
it's all
exactly.
Good. But thanks everyone for joining. I do feel better. Let me tell you.
Congratulations, OD. Your team.
Thank you. And shout out to my boy Josh, man. I appreciate my boy Josh. He's also a brother in my church. We went to the gym the other day. Yesterday. And
oh wow,
we got the endorphins going. I felt much better after it was all said and done.
Nice. That's what's up. See, that's some brothers in Christ.
Some weights
they hold you down, man.
Yeah,
hold you down.
Yeah, we have a great support system at
That's
the Rock,
good, man. Yeah. See, D,
but
alone,
they don't want to support me in the loss. They waited. Everyone waited, and couldn't wait for this to happen.
Yeah,
but we good.
You good now. You seem a whole lot better though, D.
I am better.
All right.
So much better. Since I laid my burdens down. I laid my burdens down.
Burden.
Who's not the answer? Wait.
No, he's talking about. Look, D ready to go in. He's talking about.
I'm ready. Who's not the answer?
Wait. No. Right, D ready to go off on everybody. What? Who? What?
Right.
He's talking about Baker Mayfield.
I think he played himself to a contract, rightfully so.
No, he played himself to a contract. And
he played well.
He did. He did. He really did.
Just think about it. They played as well as they did with their running back, Rachaad White. he wasn't on the ground really putting up numbers. But receiving, he did really well. He was one of the top receiving backs.
Top receivers back.
I think only second to CMC.
But they lost. Remember the kid the coach though, the quarterback's coach they lost though. Tampa Bay, that is. He took the job in Carolina.
Oh, that's right.
So
that's right.
Remember, and he's the guy that brought Geno, who didn't write back
or something.
Yeah, Calais or Kalalis or something like that. Yeah. He got Geno back got him to be the comeback player of the year.
And he didn't write back. Geno didn't write back.
Yep, helped Geno get back, who didn't write back, and Russell Wilson. And
this is the other thing.
And he coached him in Seattle.
The NFC West is going to get a lot better. That's the other thing that you're not we're the best, we're the reigning NFC champs, but the West in particular, just think about that team. The West teams are going to get
you got Jim Harbaugh, so
better.
No question. Yeah.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm
looking
at the AFC West. I'm bugging. NFC West.
What you think about it?
Yeah, Cardinals. I mean, if they draft Marvin Harrison Jr., maybe. So that'll be a nice weapon for.
Well, which one's going to look good for the first 8 games? Mighty Mouse going to look good for the first 8 games. He's going to be out, the playing boss. He's going to be out for a while. Then he'll come back. He'll look good. Yeah. But he got paid, so you know he's not going anywhere.
You can't put no stock in Geno.
But they have a young defense. They got great defensive players. They got good running backs.
Let me tell you something. Promise. If you don't sign back Ayuk, then maybe what you're saying may have a little more validity and concern, but not right now. You got to assume you're going to sign Ayuk back, whether it be a franchise tag or a multi-year deal.
What happens if we sign Ayuk but let go of Debo?
Debo's on the but I thought Debo's on the contract. No.
Let's say we trade him. They'll probably be. I'm just saying. Let's just say for argument's sake. What do you mean?
I think what's going to happen is Shanahan is going to definitely draft some more receivers. Debo can't be trusted because his health is just not good. Not good. He's an injury prone player now.
Yeah,
just hands down. He is. So you can't trust him. You just can't trust his health. So I think you're going to draft some guy. And look, one of the things about Shanahan, you can get guys in. Remember, those are 5th round draft picks, 6th round draft picks, 4th round draft picks. He knows how to draft guys.
Oh, man. Yeah, now we have a Colts. Listen, everybody.
Man,
every brother in my church is coming in.
Some weird teams.
Yo,
Colts, we got Indianapolis.
Colts. Well, listen, you're going to like this. First of all, first cardinal rule. You can't have 2 favorite teams. He's a Colts and a Cowboys fan.
Oh, no.
So
Chris,
there's the credibility.
D, give us another 30 seconds on the show, please. Wait, Chris.
Please.
Okay.
All right. Let me put it up. Let me put up who he is so you can address him directly.
All right, Chris Patterson, listen to me. Okay, Chris, I need you to understand.
He's an elder, so be careful.
He's an elder. Okay. All right. He's an elder. And I definitely respect my elders. And it's one of the brothers from the church, right?
Yes. Give him deference, but give it to him. Give him deference, but give it to him.
Elder Patterson, blessings to you, man, and God blessings. But those that some do know, I pastor church out here in Atlanta as well. So much love. We understand, in the kingdom, and we're doing great things for God and for the Lord. But listen, sir, elder, I wanted to say respectfully, we can't serve 2 masters. We got to cheer for one and hate the other. Now, listen, I've been a fan of the Cowboys since 1977. All right, I've not deviated from that team. I don't cheer for no other team. I don't like no other team. I mean, I just no way, just can't do it. Your fandom has got to be stabilized and rooted, okay, in the word. Okay.
A double-minded fan is
unstable. A double-minded fan is unstable in all their ways. That's it. You can't be, and it can't be because maybe a family that like.
No, he's from Indiana.
Okay, you're from Indiana. Okay, well, listen. Again, I'm from New York, down from New York, and you clearly see how we don't have New York teams. You know what I'm saying? So you're not bound to that environment. You can go like God told Abraham. There's more. Come out from amongst them, and that's what me and Donald did. We came out from amongst the teams in New York, and now we're at least teams that got Super Bowl wins and so forth, right? So that's all I want to say.
Colts got to win.
No, Colts and Richardson is going to come back, and I like their coach. They got
ahead of schedule. Actually, I saw a video of him. Throwing the ball around. He's ahead of schedule. So.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be good. I like their coach. I think coach is gonna be good, but you can't be both though. You gotta choose ye this day who you will cheer for. So yeah, I would say that definitely.
We can't have
Debo plays
my favorite AFC team and my favorite NFC team.
No,
Just
no,
look
no,
out
no,
for
no,
us.
no,
See you
no,
next
no,
season.
no, you can't do that. Just look out. Are you talking about the Colts looking out for next season? Yeah,
I think
maybe
so.
so.
I think
Yeah.
initially
The Colts will be something. They'll be good.
I think talking to him, he told me that he's a Colts fan, but also he has. You can like players on other teams.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's okay to like a player. I mean, you can respect and honor play. Like,
but I think if the Colts,
yeah.
I think he told me if the Colts play the Cowboys, he wants the Colts to win. So that's where his true allegiance is to.
So it's really to the Colts then. Okay. All right then. So it's almost like, yeah, okay, I got you. All right, well then that's okay. And I mean, then you've already chosen. We know who, as Solomon did with the babies, right? We knew who the mother was based on the love. So with those two teams play, you like the Colts to win to beat the Cowboys, and you're a Colts fan. And that you need to run with that. And they're going to be a really good team, I think. So yeah, they're going to be a really good team. They are. Really gonna be a good team. You know what I'm saying? But
man.
Yeah, man. Debo does reckless. Though. I do agree with Power Drill on that. He is reckless. I mean, that's just the way he plays, though. I don't know. He knows no other way to play. You know what I'm saying? So that's
yeah. I mean, it's a gift and a curse, right?
Yeah.
You run through brick walls, but if you get hit, and then you could get injured. So
yeah, that's the thing with him.
But, man,
but anyway,
great
show, D man. And listen, man, congratulations, though, bro. You listen. You beat up on me and Scrap all year. You were best team in the NFC.
Wait, this doesn't sound like a congratulatory remark. No, but go ahead. I'll let you finish.
No.
Because you clapping it to give me a backhanded compliment.
No, not at all. I want to congratulate you, D. You listen. Your team. We talked about it in the first season. You lost the NFC Championship game, right? But it was still not cemented because Purdy got hurt. So you said all year long, my quarterback stays healthy, we're going to the Super Bowl. And sure enough, that's what you did. And you gutted out 2 tough wins in the playoffs against Green Bay and Detroit. And I personally must say this, okay, as we wrap up this season, all right, I think Purdy is a very, very good quarterback. He's definitely top 10, maybe top 7 even, okay? I would even put him above Dak. I would put him above Dak. Why? I
was able to do that early on.
All right. Okay, calm down.
I'm sorry.
Do I need to, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Patty. Let me see. You get you saying, no, just kidding. No.
There
but
you go.
Listen, Purdy did well.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Right, rip the Band-Aid. No, but good. No, but D, you did it. And again, I think they got y'all favored to win the Super Bowl. I got y'all at least getting back to the NFC Championship game again, because I just don't see anybody in the NFC that can play with y'all. Y'all dominated the NFC, no question about it. Playoffs was tough. Detroit can give y'all a little run. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got them on the schedule next year? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I would imagine we got them probably again. Do. Because don't they match up playoff teams somehow, some way?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I
forget. Corey's a little better. He understands. I always forget how they do that. But y'all definitely going to have a hard schedule. No question about it. Y'all going to have a hard schedule. Who did y'all play this year in the AFC? Y'all play the South.
We might get AFC West. We might get the AFC West this year. And I hope we do, because we have a lot of Raider fans that they don't win nothing, but they got so much to talk about. And I want us to beat the Raiders out the frame. But maybe we play the AFC West.
Oh yeah. D.
But then we get to play. It'll be interesting because we would have to. AFC West is pretty tough.
No, it's very tough. AFC West is very tough.
Herbert now with a real good coach.
Yeah.
Of course, Mahomes. I'm not worried about the Raiders not one drop. And who else do you have in that? And the Broncos.
And the Broncos.
But now there's talk that they want to bring Russell Wilson back, or they're willing to restructure his contract. If I was him, I'd be like, nah. Let me. Yes, they play the Lions. That's what I thought. Yeah, because
they do.
We played them in the playoffs, so we would. It's almost a guarantee that we play them, and it doesn't matter if we play them at home or away. We'll handle business.
No, y'all will. Y'all gonna definitely do your thing. I believe so.
Just worry about paying Dak $60 million a year.
Don't remind me, man.
All right.
Yeah, I honestly would love to just blow it.
Trying to put a team around him. Keep this in mind. We got draft picks, and we got a cheap quarterback. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
No, y'all go. That's what I say. I mean, y'all got just got to sign Ayuk though. I do think losing him would be huge.
Oh, I don't want to lose him.
Right. If y'all keep him, then I think
now you think he's worth keeping. Now you think he's
no.
Worth
I
keeping.
never said he wasn't worth keeping. I just
season.
didn't think he was a number one. But I always felt y'all needed to keep him.
He only goes D. He
only runs routes that's over 18 yards.
Huh?
He only runs routes unless they're 18 yards or more. That's it, man.
No, you know that's not. I said if he puts up 1,300 yards in a loaded team, we already did the comparison between him and what's
CD.
Called? Yeah, CD. And I said, if switch him with CD Lamb.
Oh, you play Miami next year. Okay. Did you see that? Corey said y'all play Miami next year.
Oh man. Well, I may make that trip to Miami.
Yeah, that's gonna be
because
I might have to go back out there for another one too.
I know what we're gonna do to them. That's a dub. That's worth the airfare to catch that W. I'm not worried about much.
That's gonna be a good one. Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
That's the Temu. That's the Temu.
Oh, so y'all playing the AFC East.
Oh, okay.
So you got Buffalo. You got the Jets.
Oh, no problem. If they don't address that offensive line, I'm not worried about that.
And you play the Chiefs too in San Fran, so you get a chance to get them back.
Yeah, you know how we do it when we get an opportunity for paybacks, right? Although arguably our payback should have been this Super Bowl because we lost the last Super Bowl to them. But whatever, different team, different time. Misery loves company. Let's do it. Corey, start looking up the tickets and let's try to plan it.
That'd be dope.
I wouldn't mind going there.
I definitely would love to be. I want to be front and center, and we could do a show right in the hotel room.
Right.
Right. Do a show right there like we did when we was in San Fran. You know what I'm saying?
That's
do it
true.
in the hotel room.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'll bring
that would be so good. And you get Briggs. I haven't heard from Briggs. Yo, how Briggs doing, Corey? I haven't heard from Briggs. Wait, let me put a chat. I ain't see Briggs yet all day. I ain't see Briggs yesterday. I ain't see Briggs.
He posted something. He posted something about, still faithful. That's all. Listen, there has to be disappointment. I'm not speaking for him, but there has to be disappointment because this team was set up to win without rehashing and going into the way we kind of like Tyson lost to Buster Douglas. But in any case, man, shout outs to Kingdom Creative for the production.
Yes.
Shout outs to Infinite Audio for the music. Hey, listen, quick shout outs to Corey, Rand.
Corey, Rand.
Elder
That's Power
Patterson.
Drill. Power Drill, Rand.
Power Drill is Rand.
Shout out to you, sir.
Shout outs to Mark Burks, Alvina, my sister.
Yes. Alvina in the building.
Who else?
Thanks for jumping on, sis. Appreciate you.
Which squad? Our
Chris
UK
Patterson.
affiliate. Our UK affiliate jumped on, but I think he's still.
No, he's going through, man. We got to pray for James, man. James
all right.
bad. We got to pray for James.
He said he broke up a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Pastor Foster for joining us.
Thank
Robert
you, Pastor.
Matthews, we appreciate it. Kanandre.
Appreciate you, Robert. Yep.
David
Kanandre,
for joining us.
Thank y'all for being so faithful to the show, man.
James, we'll be all right, man. Feel better, man. We appreciate it.
I said milk carton. He's talking about Briggs. He said Briggs on a milk carton. We don't know where son at, man. Got to find son, man.
Right, he'll surface. He's busy. We busy.
He's busy, huh? That's what he is. He's busy. He's trying to work with Ayuk on a contract right now. So
right, exactly. He's trying to restructure the deal.
Restructure Ayuk. That's it.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Please, once again, like, share, subscribe to our Facebook, YouTube, and now Instagram. Our Instagram page. And hit the little notification so Corey's family that wants to find out when the show is going to be, if they click that, they'll know. They'll find out when the show is based
that
on...
response had me dying out loud.
You're not backing me in a corner. You think you're going to back me into a corner and I won't? That's all.
Not Donald. Nah. Squeeze. What? You can't
Gotta be quicker than that.
Gotta be quicker than that, man. Listen.
But appreciate everyone. Hey, listen. It's on to the NBA, man. Football season, it was great, highs, lows. Shout outs to Kansas City Chiefs. Job well done. Congratulations.
There we go, D. Come on. I like that, D. No, I didn't hear that in your tone. I didn't hear that all.
I got to do it at the end of the show when we're signing off. I'm not doing. Am I going to do that for 2 hours? I'm going to congratulate them.
Saying, but I didn't. You know, man, congratulations. That was good. D. Wow.
It's in order. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. Once again, like, share, subscribe. Facebook, YouTube page. We appreciate it. Until next time, get ready. NBA's coming. Peace.
NBA's coming, guys.